Truth is walking down the cobblestone street. London's calling, the heart skips the beat. Half-faced TV shining light in the haze, unmasking shadows in the city's maze. We rise up, we fight the lies, underneath the London skies. No force too strong, no chain too tight. We stand for truth, we burn so bright. Voices echo through the city at dawn, fighting the current where the soul is torn. Evil forces lurking in disguise. HAFEZ brings truth that never dies. No master games, just raw revelation. Truth for the people, truth for the nation. From the corners of the street to the hearts of the brave, HAFEZ lights the way through the fog we crave. We rise up, we fight the lies, underneath the London skies. No force too strong, no chain too tight. We stand for truth, we burn so bright.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to HAFEZ TV. I'm your host, HAFEZ, and welcome to another stream from the bedroom, from the boudoir, I call it. Okay, guys and girls. So, why am I doing two streams in 1 week, and why am I not at the Britannia Hotel? Because I finished work. It was late. I didn't know about the Britannia thing, and so here we are. But good news. Lots of other streamers are out there, or at least a couple that I know. So we're going to review some of their videos, maybe see what happens. To be honest with you, it's a bit of a nothing burger. Not a lot is going on, but we can always go over that. First of all, let us give my salutations to the people of the chat. First of all, let us start with the man of the hour, the new UG, Oliver. Good man. Good to see you, sir. It is good to see you. We have Scarlett Fox in the house. And we have someone we haven't seen in a long time. Wee Man. Love Wee Man. He's the best. Big up the Raj, as he says. And yes, Scarlett Fox. It's my birthday today. I'm having a miserable day. I hope the live stream will be a laugh. Oh, Scarlett, happy birthday, my love. Everyone, could you please put some sort of birthday emoji in the chat for Scarlett? I just caught this message. So happy birthday to my dear Scarlett. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. Fox. Happy birthday to you. Oh yeah, I do a great Marilyn. So what else do we got? We got. And Never Take the Knee. Big up, Never Take the Knee. Big up, Dawa Dollar Man. Big up the Triller in his house. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm always paranoid about that one. I think so. I think we're good. Right? We're good. Yeah, we're good. I can hear it. Good man. Happy birthday, Scarlett. The UG. I'm available to live stream some wisdom that I don't have. Oh, awesome. It is an open panel. Let me just get through a couple of things before I do merry birthday. All right. Happy makes me a sandwich day. Happy make me a sandwich day. Damn, Ronan. Reanimator, big up the Reanimator. Big up Roman and Triller in the house and Scarlett. We love you, Scarlett. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna do the sharings of the carings, and I'm gonna start off with a couple of funnies, and then we're gonna get into it. Or is this one better? Damn it. Let me share this one. I think this one's actually better set up. Sorry, boys and girls. Sorry. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Let us curve the edges. I like it curved like this. Okay, boys and girls, let me begin with this one.
Guys, what he talk about?
Vagina.
Me.
Come on now, Danny. Don't
I'm
go
not.
like you're a virgin now. You know what me I talk about. What about your vagina? It have this? Like it little? Come on, talk to me, Danny. It's like the nigger eye. Talk to me, Danny. We could talk about this. Ah, bamba pussy blood. Go suck your mama now, Danny. Suck your mama now, Danny. Bam, 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 bam. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hold them there in your face and lay down now. Hold them there, lay down and stay down. Hold of them in your head, Danny. All of them, Mr. Bumbo, all them, the pussy, your engine, your transmission.
Transmission. The man said that's a transmission. Astaghfirullah. Big up, John. Big up, Roy. Big up, John. Big up, Roy. Roy and John in the house, guys. Love these guys. Guys, apparently Canary Wharf is where it's happening. I don't know where you guys are at, but Canary Wharf is at. Wolfpack. Big up, Wolfpack. Yes. Yeah, apparently transmission. The man said transmission. Okay, I'll play one more.
You want to keep more of the money you earn. I'm afraid that's very selfish. We shall want to tax that away. You want to own shares in your firm? We can't have that. The state has to own your firm. You want to choose where to send your children to school? That's very divisive. You'll send your child where we tell you. Mr. President, the trouble with Labour is that they're just not at home with freedom. Socialists don't like ordinary people choosing, for they might not choose socialism. You want to keep more of the money you earn? I'm afraid that's very selfish. We shall want...
Okay. I had one more. Oh yeah, hold on.
Guys, what?
So exactly how bad?
See,
This is me in the morning.
get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, again, they got no fuck. Time to wake up, bitch, get up.
Every morning at 5 a.m., people. You got to get up at 5, sometimes 3:30. But 5 a.m., I'm up, I'm doing that. That's how I rock. That's how I roll. That's how it goes down. 5 a.m., just before I eat 14 raw eggs and then hit the gym with the calisthenics. That's right. That's our push-ups, 150 push-ups, 300 sit-ups, and then I go to the gym. That's how I start my mornings. I don't know how you guys do it, but that's how we do it over here in the manosphere. This one is actually really good.
I have to try it. I'm gonna try this.
This also is my life.
I'm gonna try this too.
Hey babe, don't forget tomorrow morning we have to wake up early. You have to pay to get my toes and my nails done. Oh, and while we're out, I do want to get my eyebrows done as well. It's about that time. And I saw this lady on Instagram that's doing lashes. She looks really good.
I have to try it.
That is also my life. The second half, not the first half. Not Bill Gates and Bezos. The other guy is also my life. Okay, let's open the panel. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what people are complaining about. There it is. The link is in the chat. The link is on the board. Do your thing, fellas. Now, why is it I've got two TikTok, two... It looks like my text messages in X doesn't go through. But am I on X? Yeah. I'm on X. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Okay. The message is now pinned. The stream, you want to jump on, you want to say something, you got something on your mind, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to say. John, big up my man John in the back end. All right, John. What's up?
How you doing, fella?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. How's life?
Sweet.
You good? You're
Yeah.
feeling it. You're checking it. You're loving it.
Yeah. I'm getting.
Oh, you're getting echo. I'm sorry.
Echo.
Okay. How about now?
1, 2, 3. That's it. All good to go.
Yeah. Oh, it's a full house. We have J, we have R. What's up, Roy?
Good evening, brother HAFEZ. How are you, my friend?
Good evening. Come on.
Coming to take that stream, mate. You need saving. You need saving, bro. You know what I mean?
Think of it.
Oh, sick of it. Hold on, it's getting even busier. Hold on. One more in the house. Is that the old Triller?
No. Loud and clear.
I'm dissing your fellow Sikhi friend here. I'm gonna go balls deep on your boy Raj here.
Feel free.
He's gonna stick his balls in your guts, mate. Be careful.
I'm gonna disembowel him.
He said somebody else's.
Oh,
but
Roy jumped. Roy's back. Roy. Oh no, Jay. Oh, it's Kingston. Kingston in the house.
Oh, no.
Another Jay.
Everyone doing?
What's up, Kingston? Long time, my man. Long time.
Friendly neighborhood colonialist.
Yep. My friendly neighborhood ethno-nationalist. How are you, sir? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm working as a PE teacher now.
Oh, excellent. Oh, good man. Oh, we got Roy back. Damn. It's all happening.
Everyone.
It's all... Let me see how this works. Okay.
What is this, StreamYard? Or Restream?
This is Restream. Yeah, this is Restream.
Oh, it doesn't like me, man.
Restream lets a few more sort of facilities.
Yeah.
It doesn't like me. I'm going to be dropping out left, right, and center.
Oh, does it? You're breaking up on me as well a bit. So yeah, it could be the Restream thing. The problem is StreamYard is they've even taken away even more restrictions, more things that you could do before that you can't anymore because they just want to. They're just after the money, man.
They want you to pay.
How much is it?
Restream. It's like $30 something a month.
Well, let's all get a fucking.
There goes Roy.
That's cool.
Sorry, Roy. It looks like this one doesn't like you much. This one is it's definitely not coping well with Roy. Don't pay for it. Yeah. Sorry, said something.
It's kind of ruining his channel.
Okay, you guys I don't think can talk at the same time. It breaks up on me. I don't know. I can't seem to hear everyone.
Connection's a bit dodgy.
Go on, John, go, and then Jamie, and then Triller. There we go. There's a 3.
Yes.
I can't even hear you, John. Say
no. 2, 3.
Yeah, you're back. I can hear you. All good.
Okay.
John, we
Sorry.
have your favorite woman in the chat. I'm not going to say anything.
Is he? Has he?
Is he?
Is he?
Yes, he's in. He's in the house.
I hope he's well. I hope so. I hope he's not upset.
You would think that a freaking porn technician for 20 years would just know how to fucking work a StreamYard thing like better than anybody else.
Dude,
but it's
this isn't
always
my
dodgy.
This
on your
isn't my
fucking-
shit. I don't run this platform. I can do it on my OBS, but I wasn't in the mood to set all that up tonight. I just wanted to do a quick stream, and this thing just gives you that facility. It just makes it quick and
Dude,
easy.
I used to use OBS fucking years ago, man. When I was doing my gaming shit. It ain't that hard, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I have to, because the thing is, okay, I'm gonna get real geeky on you guys. I've ordered a motherboard, CPU, and RAM, which is gonna arrive in the next couple of days, and I'm completely upgrading my PC. So I'm gonna fit a new motherboard in, a new i9 processor, kick-ass RAM. I've got everything else anyway. I've got the heatsink and fan and graphics cards and all that. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to, because this machine that I'm running on right now isn't coping so well with all this green screening and just generally, it's now like 6 years old, 7 years old, this machine. So once I change the board out, change the CPU and RAM, on Monday you will see a new uptake.
Why not actually get a background that actually is your background that you're proud to be behind?
This
don't do
is
that.
my beautiful background. Why don't you like the beauty of the neon and the
Yeah,
bed?
I want the neon light to actually reflect on you to show that it's real.
No, I don't. No, no. This is the background.
Get with the
The real
times,
background
mate.
is boring as shit. I
Yeah.
promise you, it is plain, bland, and just.
To be
boring.
fair,
I'll
that
show
is
you.
pretty fucking ordinary. You got a bed, you got your lights. That couldn't be hard to replicate in real life. Just
Oh
saying.
no!
But I don't.
Oh no! Here's a
I
better
don't.
one.
I don't have that set up.
Yeah.
So
Get one of those.
this is the actual background. Okay.
Oh yeah. But
That's the actual background. It's
Be-
sad and
What
depressing.
you got to do
Leave
is
that.
throw on a
If you-
little
if you-
neon light behind there, and you're good. Like, if
no,
that's normal one.
get one of those projectors that you can like have really close up to the wall, and that way you can have
All this.
any background you want without any of the fuzziness
Yeah.
of the green of the green screen.
But I don't get fuzzy. See, this particular one, it's designed in such a
Go
way
on
that it's
Temu
black.
and buy a fucking one of those murals you could just throw in the back. You got loads of options.
I'm not putting up shit on my wall. I take the green screen and shut up. We are moving. We're gonna cover Raj. Okay.
As long as you wear green,
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna. That's the plan.
just be a floating head.
Okay. Let me share this little image. I won't share the sound, so that way we don't have to worry about sound. Although I do actually want to play. No. Hold on. I'm gonna play something, and then you guys, it's gonna have echo. So bear with me while the echo is on. But this is Raj back in the day with these little chubby cheeks and old chummy with old Tommy Robinson. Now I'm gonna play this, and then we're gonna circle back to what I and what everyone thinks about this. This is Raj talking about the Tommy event, his opinions.
Yeah, but the problem. All right, so fair enough. Like, stop the immigration for a period of time. I think there needs to be a pause to it, so that anybody that's here needs to be kind of like checked who they are. I don't think men should be walking around who are between 18 and 30, just wandering the streets. Right, if we don't know who they are, they need to be put into some sort of detention center, right, until we know. And then once we find out who they are, if they're not suitable, they need to go. If somebody is accepted as a British national, if they commit a crime, they need to be deported.
Sorry to interrupt. Ollie, you have your camera on. Are you okay with that? Because I put you on the channel and then I took you off. Okay, you're good. All right.
So I'm not in any way become, because some people think I've become soft. Oh, right, no, I'm not soft. I'm still in the same kind of mindset that there's issues that need to be dealt with. Where we're diverging is how do you deal with the issues?
Right, so
including with Manny as well. So like, me and Manny are still friends and stuff, but we disagree strongly on how do you tackle the situation.
I'm not friend with Hope Not Hate Raj, no.
Don't worry. That's not when you say that's not what you say when I give you a bit of their money.
No, I don't need money, mate.
What's the problem with Elon Musk?
Well, look, Elon Musk, you know, he's messaging on a day about violence coming to your door and all this kind of stuff. Like, it was so. If it was.
Well, you don't like the truth, do you, Raj?
It's not about liking the truth. I don't believe it's productive. I don't believe it's productive to say
what you think is productive, personally.
So hold on. Shut your mouth, you little pussy. Shut up. Basically, shut your mouth. You're asking me a question. Be respectful.
Okay, I wanted to kind of pause it right there because my thesis on this is as follows: the foreigners, that includes Raj, that includes Manny, even though they were born here, I don't care. The foreigners have the audacity to tell the English, that's not me. In fact, I think there's only two people on this panel that would be able to even classify themselves as the English. The English, Scottish, and Welsh is really predominantly what I'm talking about. The natives of this land. I can understand why the foreigner would say and want to do this and want to tell them exactly what their culture is and what Britishness is and all that nonsense, which is, by the way, a whole bunch of other videos I've got as well, including this person who I despise, this Yasmin woman. What's that? There she is. Actually, let's quickly play this as well because
Yasmin, do you acknowledge that one of those points that Emma made about the fact that it puts the social cohesion, that people coming here.
Listen,
again, here's another foreigner telling the natives what they should do in their own country.
Large numbers. So she's talking about large numbers.
So you go to the Red Wall. I go to the Red Wall a lot and argue with people in pubs. I do this as a duty, as a journalist.
Yeah, this is English woman through and through. She goes to pubs. She goes to pubs and discusses with the natives in the Red Wall. She goes to the pub to talk to them.
Right? And I ask them, what attempt have you, and these are white people, have you made to integrate with those who come into your society? Why is the pressure always on us?
Because you are the foreigner, you self-righteous person.
To be fair.
Okay, let me stop this. The echoing stops.
You got an echo when you
Okay.
You got a video on, innit? I remember.
I mean, if this was like how the Brits, went into India and the Indians, at the very least, try to attempt to, replicate or, become British in their own unique way. But this
No,
we're
Jamie.
not being like conquered by a single.
No, Jamie.
Got a whole host.
That was apparently evil colonialism. So if colonialism is evil, if going to someone else's country and telling them that you now have to behave the way I behave is the most evil thing on earth, then what is this Indian woman doing in England telling the English what they should be doing? That is colonialism.
Right, but what culture am I, as an Englishman, supposed to submit to these new and superior overlords? Is it the Hindu culture? Is it the Muslim culture? Is it the Sikh culture? Which culture is it?
The Somali culture, the Sudanese culture, the Syrian culture, because it ain't just one of them. You just mentioned all the ones in that sort of Indian subcontinent. You haven't mentioned the African continent, the Central Asian continent, the Far East continent.
East Asians, South America.
I think she was just making a suggestion. She wasn't trying to impose.
She was making a suggestion. Did she sound like she was making a suggestion?
Yeah.
No, I think she was telling. She wasn't.
Wait, Trilla, tell me. Tell me how am I supposed to? how am I supposed to do what she wants? What
Well,
exactly?
see, the thing is, if you look at firstly, right, instead of looking at it from a black and white kind of thing, oh, like, should we do this? Should we do that instead, right? Like, I think why not explore the option, right? So she's basically saying, she's dropped the scenario that we should always be conforming the minority communities to what the native communities are doing, right? So then she's basically saying, well, why don't the other community try and also conform to the way that we are? And I think that does happen. That happens more often, I think, right? Like, there are a lot of people that, I don't know, when you were growing up, Banksy, like, it was cool to, like, the Jamaican thing, cool run-ins and everything, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be like, certain kind of things from other communities, yeah? People kind of reenact that from films that they see, from their friends and so on and so forth, isn't it? With the way they talk. Like, I was raised in London, so people speak like a lot of speak broken kind of English, like the Jamaicans kind of speak.
Yeah, patois and pidgin English.
Why should English people, degrade our
their language, to suit the people who are trying to speak English? Patois and pidgin English is just bad English, right? This is English that for people who can't speak English.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally English for the low IQ.
Right. But all I'm saying is that, people kids do these things, right? So growing up, right, you think it's cool, right? You like it personally, right? So they kind of follow suit, and it's very a lot of people growing up in our generation
they're not integrating to a new culture. They're just going through a fucking phase, I went for the phase of trying to be like black, with the cap and saying yo 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 when I was a kid. Doesn't mean I was integrating with black culture.
Everybody has some mandem in them. I mean, roadman. We've seen the roadmans, the shook, the shank, the mandems.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
We all know.
So when it comes down to it, look, it's an interesting thing because London, especially, is like, I think one of the most multicultural cities in the world, meaning the most diverse, right? So it's quite unique in that regard. You got other places like Vancouver and whatever, right? So I think that we're in exceptional circumstances with social media massive and everything else, right? We're very unique. You know what I mean? We are the trendsetters.
Yeah, well, why can't the trend be that
really wanting us? Please don't notice the bad side of multicultural.
Yeah, exactly. Don't mention the rapes, the shankings, the machete runners, the phone stealers.
No, but again, I am not that.
Just have your curry and your naan and be happy.
No. I would rather have an interesting conversation, freaking, an intellectual one at least, or try to. Or close to, because the thing is, look, we have an opportunity to talk about these things, and I'm open to it because, again, I'm going to fight for, the liberal kind of societies, right? That you lot are typically seem to be against, right?
Yeah, because it suits you. Because you're the beneficiary of that.
I think it suits us.
It's a shame you won't actually fight for it with your fists.
No. The thing is, Triller. This is the paradox I find myself in. Your liberal worldview suits me because as a foreigner in Britain, I don't want the skinheads to run around and impale me with a Union Jack flag or a St. George's flag. Correct. Sure, I like when the English are nice, but what you don't realize is that I have seen, or I can see, what happens if this course of action continues as we are. The fact is, things don't get better. The foreigners ruin and make this place into the very shitholes that they came from, and then the English will run around impaling us anyway. Okay. So if I follow your course of action, the impaling will come. Okay. But if I get the English and the British society to revert a little bit back, pull back a little bit, kick out some of these asshole migrants, and then get us back to somewhere in the 90s of Britain, the English will be nice and humble and pleasant and lovely again.
Okay,
but they're not going to be like this forever. People keep going, British culture is about tolerance. Yeah. Not forever. Not in the face of annihilation of their ethnic and social and cultural society.
Right. Look, it's quite like I said, it's an interesting time, right? We are going to fuel more hatred towards you know what I mean, like immigration and immigrants in general that are already here, that have been here for years, settled, contributed, that are good people, right? Because of, you know, a massive influx and you know, huge waves that are coming in, exploiting a loophole with asylum. However, right, like yeah, like when you talk about freaking regressing to a kind of period where it's all going to be, you know, backwards and stuff like that, dude, and how it will become a shithole if we invite more people in. Remember that we still have shitholes in this country that are just white areas, right? That are just full of white people that are without work, that are,
Triller.
you know,
Yeah, do
that
you know
don't
what?
have
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no.
Do you know why?
Right?
Those
But they are
seaside
deprived
yeah,
and
you're referring to
impoverished.
those seaside areas.
No, there
where
are
it used
lots
to
of
have a lot
different areas.
tourism.
No,
They're
Triller,
up north, they're around the
this is
country.
pure whataboutism.
No, it's
It
not.
doesn't matter if Britain
fact.
had a dozen, like half of the country was white shithole ghettos. It is their shithole ghettos,
Yeah.
and they have the right to have
So-
it. That doesn't mean that it excuses the foreigners who come and turn other cities into brown shithole ghettos.
No, right, you're correct by saying, right, it will get worse. Okay, I'm not saying it won't. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm saying it already exists, right? So we need to stop that, and inviting more people in, again, exploiting loopholes, especially, right?
But Triller,
it's not going to help.
you can't compare shitty white neighborhoods to shitty black or Muslim. They're like comparing oranges to apples. And you know, I would
Why can't compare? We're human beings living in the same country.
Get average white people being nearly as direct in terms of like groping or whatever. Like, you know, I'm seeing videos
Directing groping. Could you elaborate on that? What do you mean?
Migrants, you know, literally, you know, beating girls and stealing them away,
Groping them, exposing themselves to them, following them literally to their front door.
You think white people
all of
don't
this
do
shit
that?
is no. The fact is that in when it comes to the percentages, do you realize an Afghani is 22 times more likely to essay a woman than other minority groups in this country right now?
That might be the case of them being caught and so on and so forth. But the thing is, right, we can't. So the numbers are clearly white people are committing that crime more than any other group. Obviously, because they are
not
the majority.
per capita. This is the
right.
problem. You don't understand.
Obviously,
it seems
that they're the
nobody
majority.
understands per capita.
But then those are the ones that have been caught. By the way, we don't know
Yes,
about the ones that
for
haven't
the
been caught.
minority amount that they're in, they are well overrepresented in these sort of cases. This is the problem. Again, you guys, you just don't want to admit per capita. You want if I go to Nigeria, I guarantee you, white people do the least amount of crimes in Nigeria. What's the crime statistics of white molestations in Nigeria? Do you know? Does anyone know? I'm willing to
just
Google that. Could someone Google it in the chat?
Or look at a better example. Look at South Africa. You know. Yeah, all the rapes are committed by mostly like actual Africans or what's the word for mixed race? I think there's a word for them, but yeah, it's always completely the opposite. You know,
the thing is, look, you guys are vouching for you don't want a country that's just generally mostly white, right? In terms of like, you know, getting rid of as many immigrants
90% what,
right?
native English, Welsh, and Scots.
So to most people, that would look like a far right kind of political movement.
I don't give a shit. That looks like Japan. That looks like India.
Right.
That looks like Nigeria. That looks like the Congo. That looks like Pakistan. That looks like Afghanistan, where they're 90% natives.
Generally speaking,
they don't care if it's not non-white. Non-white countries are allowed to have ethno-states, but apparently all white people have signed this elusive contract that we must renounce any form of nationalism or ethno-nationalism ever since 1940s for obvious reasons.
So generally speaking, all I'm saying is it's like, you know, that would include that the Brits would not be able to go anywhere either, or, you know what I mean, settle and everything else. So the thing is...
No, because you know why? You know why, Triller? When the Brits went at other places, you guys called them colonialists.
Oh, no,
So
no,
they're
that
not
was
allowed
that
to be
was on the-
colonialists
that was-
anymore.
That was different. I'm just talking about people looking to move and live somewhere else, retire elsewhere. You know, a lot of them go
But-
Spain, a lot of them go
But
Thailand. A lot
but
of
how
go
many of them are
lots different
moving to
places.
Pakistan and Syria to retire?
I don't
Do you
think
know any
many.
expats? But I tell you what, there's plenty of expats in Dubai. Why are Dubai the British who've been living in, and I know a few of them myself who've been living there for over 5 years. Why are British who go to Dubai and been there for 5-10 years plus are not called Emiratis? Why are they still called expats? After 10 years, do you know Mr. Humza Yousaf? He said if you've only lived in this country for a day, you're Scottish. Apparently, if you just rock up to Scotland for a day, you can be Scottish, but you can live in Dubai for 10 years and you can't call yourself an Emirati. You're still known as an expat. You can live in Spain for 20, 30 years and you're still called an expat.
So why is it the majority of these people that in England leave this country and settle elsewhere, or or are continuously abroad? Like,
Because
why is it-
because of
why?
continuous
their home
governments
and
in-
neighborhoods have been turned to shit.
Yeah, because of Birmingham,
So
because
they
of
wanna
Bradford, because of Savile
So-
Town.
So isn't it hypocritical, right? That then they want to literally do what they want in their own country to another country. They want to basically, run out the natives in their country, right? That's okay. The Brits can go anywhere, but nobody can come here.
Well, this is the irony. If you actually ask the expats, if tomorrow the Spanish decide to chuck out all the expats in Spain and turn Costa del Sol back into Spain again, because by the way, I don't know if you guys have been to Costa del Sol. It's Little England. I mean, you can literally go to Irish pubs. You can go to English breakfast cafes. It's just Little
the
England.
purpose of going fucking Spain, doesn't it?
But if the Spanish tomorrow say, right, you English, take your eggs and bacon and fuck off back to England, believe me, no one will be complaining.
Well,
There'll
no,
be
you
no,
don't- you don't
oh,
look
these
like that. You
racist
don't-
Spanish, they're evicting the English. How could they?
About you don't even need to use that hypothetical. Just look at Brits who commit a crime in Spain. They're deported, and
Yep.
Bob's your uncle. Every time a Pakistani or Somali commits a crime here, oh God, the countries of their home, origin will never take them back. So it's the principle that
Go to Dubai and commit a crime. And believe me, I'm not even talking about a bad crime. Just drive erratically. They will immediately deport you. There was a woman called herself Sassy Trucker, an American woman. I don't know if you heard that story. She went to Dubai and she had some kind of an argument with a truck rental company or whatever person that she was trying to, I guess, hire a truck to do some of her videos. She, I think, spent a few months in prison in Dubai and then got ejected. That's how they deal with them in Dubai.
I think there's even this weirder incident where a Brit in Argentina, all he did was have a number plate that said, I think was 1983, and a lot of Argentinians thought, oh, you're taking the piss because of the Falklands War, and so he was kicked out.
He was kicked out of Argentina for a number plate.
Yeah.
Another reason why, why I love this country, and I think we got the best justice system, regardless. Even though there's fucking holes everywhere, right? It's still one of the best. I'd rather be tried in this country.
Yeah. Why? Why is it the
than
best?
another country?
No.
I mean,
go on. Why is it the best? No, why is it the best?
Because you got more. In my opinion, you got more corruption, right, in other, like in other countries.
You said our justice system's the best, so don't start saying, oh, we got more corruption.
I just said that,
no,
right? When it comes out, we have corruption in this country too,
I know,
right?
everywhere has
it's
corruption,
higher level.
but you
generally.
said we had the best justice system. I want you to go
I
into
said
the
I'd
details.
rather be tried in this country than another country.
Why?
Guys, pause 1 second. Let Ollie come in, because he's been very patient and he has not really said a word since. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that no one's actually bothered to define what culture is. It is quite well defined. There are 7 different parts to culture. Not one of them is race. And Trilly, you're the first person who actually brought up race. Do you think when people talk about culture, it's some kind of dog whistle for eugenics or race?
When people bring up culture, is it a dog whistle for eugenics or race? I think Yeah, I don't know. Could you go into that for me a little bit more if you don't mind, please? Just to elaborate
Yeah,
on your question.
when people talk about culture, if you're actually being specific about culture, it's about social organization, people's customs, their religion, the language, how the government's arranged, the economy, art. Those are the things that make up culture. No part of that definition includes race.
No, you're right. When it comes down to culture, race is irrelevant in that. But then when it comes down to what kind of people are generally, assimilated in that culture, they tend to be from a particular background, right? So a Punjabi culture, right, and so on and so forth, right, tend to be a certain type of people, in that culture. So when it comes down to, let's just say, English culture, right? Let's take that for an example, which again I think is very unique, because I consider myself to be an Englishman culturally, right? I don't consider myself to be an Englishman, ethnically, right? But I think that there's a clear distinction there, and people have a problem with that. Like people maybe on the panel, and others I've spoken to on previous panels. So I think that. Yeah, I personally wouldn't have a problem if you were maybe, I don't know, you called yourself an Indian and you were there for a day, like, oh, I love this culture, I love this country or whatever, I'm an Indian, I want to be an Indian, whatever. I'll be like, you know what, good for you, mate, go for it, right? Like more love for you. And I think English, and I think other Englishmen, right, in this country, the majority would also say that towards me. They'd be like, you consider yourself an Englishman? Even patriots have said to me, like, good on you, Triller. You want to be an Englishman?
But
Go
Triller,
for it, bro.
if I was to wear like a whatever Sikh turban and uniform, whatever you call that, and I was like, saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm a Sikh, I'm just as lazy as you."
You can do that without the accent.
When you say
can do
that's
that without
the
accent.
do you not say that's taking
the accent? It would be. When it comes down to
That's crossing the line now, man. You're crossing some line.
No. Look, it's not a big deal, is it? A bit of satire, whatever, right? But like when it comes down
no,
to
the fact is, you know how ridiculous it is if I was to do that to
No.
stimulate
If
your
you
culture.
the thing is, if you look at Justin Trudeau and he wore the whole Punjabi outfit, didn't he? And he wore the turban and all of that, and he did the ridiculous dancing. Nobody thought he was actually Punjabi. Yes, there's a lot of Sikhs in Canada, and some of them running for office. In fact, I think he had maybe at one time like an opposition that was running for his position. So yeah, he panders, but nobody's going to believe that Justin Trudeau is a Punjabi man, no matter how much he puts on blackface.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if he was born in Punjab or if he's
no, of course not. No, of course not. And even we do turban tying days, right, on our events where we just encourage everybody, whoever wants to have a turban tied on their head.
Wait, I thought you practiced English culture.
No, so
Where
again,
does turbans come into English culture?
Turbans are cultural, right? Turbans aren't religious as such.
But turbans aren't part of English culture. You said you practice English culture.
Right. So again, I believe England, right, to be an amalgamation of lots of different cultures, right? And that's
so. What is English culture? Well, no. What is English culture? You can't just say England's just amalgamation.
I just defined it for you. I believe English culture to be an amalgamation of lots of different cultures around the world.
That's not culture. That's just something you plucked out of your ass.
Well, not at all. I've been saying it for years.
No, you can explain a culture from a Sikh. You can scream that.
Do you understand what an amalgamation, is?
Well, so is Sikh culture. Sikh culture is also amalgamation.
Is this a Sikh man?
Unique identity that you can define.
Is this a Sikh man?
English culture doesn't tell me fuck all.
It could be.
This is a Sikh man to you, right? This is a Sikhi, right?
It could be, yeah.
You just rock up to a Gurdwara just like that.
I mean,
when
it comes to Sikh,
technically he's dressed up as Aladdin. So
well, see, if you were to say,
but if you find like him dancing about in India when he was like, oh god, he looked like such a twat.
All right, well, I'm interested in into what? Sorry, what's the gentleman's name on the right?
Ollie, the
Castro's bastard son, Justin Trudeau, the former president.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear his response to what I've just said. Anyway, so.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. I don't count someone's race as anything even interesting about them. I could talk about myself for a couple of hours and I wouldn't discuss my race. I think it's completely irrelevant. It doesn't concern me in the least. So when people bring it up, I kind of wonder where they're coming from.
Because you cannot separate culture from the genetics.
I would disagree with that, but
all right,
that's my position.
All right, so let's say hypothetically a bunch of Chinese people got stranded in the middle of the Amazon. Are they going to create hutches and all that stuff the same way the native Amazonian tribes do it, or are they just going to replicate a Chinese house back in China?
Well, are these people who've been conditioned as Chinese people in the Chinese culture, or are they just Chinese babies that have been adopted there? What's the hypothetical?
All right, let's even okay. My hypothetical was like Chinese people, obviously brought up in a Chinese culture. If they stranded in a completely different environment, even though they're working with different materials, they're still going to replicate in mini China. But even hypothetically, if we were saying, oh, these are just Chinese infants that were adopted by the Amazonian tribes, I can guarantee you those Chinese children are going to grow up very differently to their Amazonian parents.
Why?
Because they've got completely different potentials in terms of how much knowledge they can harbor, because of how their genetics has been informed in the Han Chinese territory for over thousands of years. And so when you plot them in a completely different environment, it's going to be, the ecology is going to completely transform. It's like if you introduce like a different species of ant, nest into a different less capable ants, then those ants are going to completely, wipe out the competition. So I could definitely imagine these Chinese, Amazonian brought up versions are just going to completely, create new technology and new instruments that the Amazonian tribes would have never thought before.
So sorry, Ollie. Let me just. So you're saying if I take two Chinese babies, let's even say for demographic purposes, 12 Chinese babies, and I put them in the Amazon with an Amazon tribe. These are babies, like week old, not even a week old, less than a week old babies. They're going to grow up and they're suddenly going to invent gunpowder and the Chinese New Year.
Oh, no. I wasn't going that far. It would obviously be like a small thing. It's not going to be like a massive change, but I definitely do think that, they would realize
they're going to suddenly start teaching them Kung Fu.
No. I'm just saying that,
it's genetically inherent.
No, I'm just saying that the potential of the Han Chinese mind has evolved to be a lot more sophisticated than, say, the Amazonian tribe, because the Amazonian tribe has lived in an ecology where it's about hunter-gatherer and survival.
Babies.
Well, I'm not. But when you take the Han Chinese, they've lived in a very sophisticated agricultural community where there's a lot of language, interactions, rice farming, a lot more sophisticated culture, and
this is knowledge and culture that's conditioned, it's learned. But they're not, like Banksy said, they're not going to suddenly start building pagodas just because they happen to be ethnically Han Chinese. That kind of thing is completely learned. They'll know nothing about China, and you would have to now say that the potentiality of a Han Chinese person and any other race is necessarily different, and I don't think you can substantiate that.
You can, because we see the same thing with, let's just take dog breeds. You can't honestly say dog breeds are all equally capable of the same thing. No, I know.
But dogs have been selectively bred over many generations to specifically be extremely different in their phenotypes, and we don't see that in people.
But we do see that with different subspecies of animals, like I took the dogs as obvious.
I get what you were saying. This is why I said, for demographic purposes, like 12 Chinese babies, because I was suspecting that you're talking about like the Chinese will be like the gray squirrel to the red squirrel of Britain, where these Chinese in the Amazon will eventually start to become like an invasive species in the Amazon to kill off the native Amazonians. That they would eventually take over the Amazon, and then within a few, as I said, about 12, 13 generations, bam, fireworks.
Obviously, I can't prove that, but who knows? Weirder shit has happened.
That's
No, it's
crazy.
true. You know, we humans, we love to think that we're separate from the animals, but no, we
Do you believe
have
that
all
we
the
were
same characteristics of animals, and
right?
just
But do
like
you
with
believe
animal, wait, let me
genetically?
finish this. Just like where they're
Right.
animals, like that have different subspecies of animals. You know,
Right.
subspecies are analogous for races in many ways, and we obviously see that if you've adapted to live in a certain ecology and environment, then you're going to have certain advantages to certain things and certain disadvantages.
Okay,
This is
cool.
not this is not me saying, oh, one is superior to the other. I'm just saying we need to.
All right, cool. But it does sound so. To understand you a little bit better, like, do you believe in the whole thing where genetically we might have come from Africa and migrated and so on, and that happened, or do you believe in something else? And if so, what is it?
I certainly believe that Homo sapiens or the human species has a certain origin point that you can find in Africa. But so what? You know, if we go back further enough, when we were apes,
Because
we
it
were
shows
mostly we were.
unities. That's what it
But
generally means. We are from the same.
but it doesn't matter because we're not them anymore, and we can play this
Right.
thing like, oh, if we go back when we were apes, a lot of people don't realize that Europe was a lush
Because obviously
jungle.
some breeded with Neanderthals more, and that happened to be more of the European kind of like going up the migrators, right?
Oh yeah.
The ones that migrated more. So
The
that
modern
would be
the modern European is
right.
a subspecies of human that's a mix of Neanderthal
So
and.
do you think that to be more evolved than like the Homo sapien, or
I think
what?
the Neanderthals were certainly more involved in certain things. They had a head
No,
start.
the mixture. Do you think you became more evolved as you mixed with Neanderthals?
Oh yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Well, it's not more evolved. Everybody's evolved. There is no more evolved. It's just evolved. It could be that they developed certain level of IQ
we have the archaeological evidence for this. You know, like before the mixture of Homo sapien and Neanderthal. The artwork was of a very primitive sense, but then as soon as those hybrids came into fruition, then you suddenly see a much bigger leap in more sophisticated art and cave paintings and all that stuff. So yeah,
I mean, I can't entirely deny Jamie's idea of the fact that certain human beings certainly evolved differently. I mean, the whole thing about evolution through natural selection and different environmental factors do affect. I mean, the finches was the great example with Darwin. So yes, it's environmentally, we used to be somewhat environmentally connected to our evolution or our progression or
development
was environmentally influenced. But you can't really say that for the best part of
I find it kind of irrelevant in today's
10,000 years, maybe longer, because we've totally dominated our environments. In fact, we've changed some of the environments that are completely foreign to the natural world.
Right, but certain people have had a head start. Like we forget that South America and Africa and Aboriginal Australia, just less than 100 years ago, they were basically, just huts,
Yeah, but you see, the problem is, Jamie, this is where unfortunately I part ways with this, on this concepts of, the white Europeans or the Europeans, managed to stumble across something that no one else did. The fact is that the pyramids that they built in Egypt were the same, were almost very similar to the ones that they found in South America. You can't say that these were not sophisticated societies when they could construct such things. So they had a high level of sophistication.
When I say South America, I'm really referring to like the Amazon. I'm not really referring to Aztec, Mexico.
Yeah, but what I mean is, the South America is a very large place.
Area. I'm just saying specifically. Yeah. Really down below the equator area.
Yeah, sure. I get.
But you see, I'm asking you these kind of questions, primarily just because I want to relate it to what's currently happening today, right? In today's society,
because you cannot explain all the issues we're living today without understanding the different.
Right. No. But briefly understanding things, that's fine, right? And I think we've got enough there personally, right? If you want to, Banksy wants to get into it more with you, that's fine. But like, all I'm saying is I would like to relate it to today in terms of like, where are we going? Because what we're trying to talk about here is, these kind of societies, where should we go from now? And Banksy and yourself have agreed that you want something a little bit more to do, with the ethnicity, right? These culturally and ethnic, but mostly ethnic countries, right? Dominated countries, right? So like, I just find it like, interesting, right? Because I think, okay, so if we do go with that aspect, right, like, this would be like 1800s before that even, right? Like, we're going back in time now. In my opinion, is regressing. And I just don't see the benefit personally. I'm a globalist, right? And I believe that, the more we're going to integrate, the closer we are to us all kind of like coming under one flag. And, because we only have so many resources to share on this planet. And, like, yeah, as soon as we can freaking break these borders and boundaries.
Exactly. We
Right,
live in a
hold on 1
world of
second.
finite
Yeah.
resources.
What,
That's why
exactly.
there's going to be more tribalism.
Right. So when it comes down to it, it's either fighting for these resources as we are doing right now, or, something happens where, we start working together a lot more. And I think migration is helping in terms of breaking down the boundaries and breaking the borders personally. And even though it has been a lot of a shit
Fueling
show,
the hatred.
even
It's
though it
fueling
has been
the
a
very
shit show,
thing you're terrified of.
but the thing is, look, listen, the arguments that the people are making today are the same arguments that they made in the 60s and the 70s when migrants were coming over, right? The same arguments.
Yeah, and
We
what
can't handle it.
percentage
We don't
and
have
what
the
percentage of the
infrastructure.
population of them were they?
What percentage? What of who? Who?
They were like 2% back then. They were like
2% of
insignificant in the 70s and 80s. We
yeah,
don't
but they
live
made
in
the
those
same
days
arguments.
anymore.
No, but they made the same arguments that they're making today. So
Yes,
2025
and most of them,
and 65,
most
they
people
were
didn't.
making the
Most
same
people didn't.
arguments.
Yeah, and most people didn't buy it because they didn't live with them.
No.
They
were
didn't live with
right,
migrants because they were less than
literally,
2% of the population.
right, but
And then
literally,
they grew, and
but
then more and
literally,
more
all
people
I'm saying
realized
is,
actually it's pretty shit. I
okay,
want to
well,
leave. I
it's
want to
been
protect my
okay.
family.
It's been
The
okay.
word starts to spread,
Right, hold
and
on a
now
second.
we're at boiling
All
point.
right,
And
okay,
instead of realizing we need to, actually reverse, you're saying no, we must encourage more and more and
no,
more.
I'm not.
And you're just
Did I say encourage?
pouring more
No,
fuel
I
into
didn't
the
say
fire.
I didn't. All right, so you're putting words into my mouth, right? If you don't mind, please don't interrupt me. Like I said, Ollie, love to hear more from you, mate. Yeah, I think you're very, intellectual guy listening to you. Yeah, but like when it comes down to it, on that point there, I'm not trying to encourage it. I'm saying control it. So let's make that one clear. We are out of control with migration in UK at the moment and around the world. Carry on.
Sorry, Trilla, just before you guys get into it again, I just want to show Ollie. Ollie, I believe I discovered, according to James, this is, if you introduce Chinese people to the Amazon, this is the Amazon in 2 generations. I'm sorry. Okay, carry on.
Oh god, it just writes itself.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can put the race thing to one side, and we can talk about, actually.
Well, the topic is not going to die. You can say, oh, let's just put it to rest. It's always going to keep coming up. I'm just saying, but we can do that if you want.
We'll put it on the back burner. We won't put it in the bin. We'll put it in the back burner. Like Trilla, would you say that some races are better than others, like, objectively speaking? Sorry, not races. Cultures. Cultures are better than others.
Okay, some cultures are better than others. Freaking hell! Cultures are better than others.
Come on, Trilla. You can't say a culture.
I'm trying to think. I've never actually. See, the thing is, I've always had the argument.
Preserving.
Right, I've always had the arguments of race. Superiority. Right, we've been talking about that online a lot. Cultural kind of superiority is a little bit different, right? I would say, are they better than others? Certain cultures.
Can I say you've already said that part of British culture was better than other cultures when you said that?
Yeah, I think I'm probably inclined to say yes. Like, yeah, all right, yes, yeah. There are some cultures better than others. Yeah.
So I would say, part of British culture is religious plurality. We're quite accepting of people's religious beliefs. Elizabeth I said, "I don't want to make a window into people's souls." She didn't want to look into the minds of other people's beliefs and make determinations about what they thought and judge them on that. That was 500 years ago. Since then we've had many arguments between different Christian sects, and more recently in the sort of 19th century we've been more accepting of many different religions. Now I think most people's objection to mass immigration these days is because it is Islamic, and that Islam isn't necessarily just a religion. It comes with a significant amount of cultural baggage, including their own set of laws. And I think that that's what people look at in large parts of their own communities and see that this other culture has encroached on their land, essentially, their places. And it is not interested in any kind of integration or incorporation of British culture, whereas Sikhism probably does. I imagine that there's a different flavor of British Sikhism than there is to Indian Sikhism. There's certainly a different flavor of Western Buddhism to Eastern Buddhism. It has adapted to its nation state. In America, it's different from in Britain.
I disagree, but
sure.
carry on.
Maybe different for Sikhism. I don't know.
No. But I think because again, I'm from the community. I'm from Southall, right? That's probably the largest Sikh community in the UK, right? Predominantly, probably Birmingham now. But yeah, generally speaking, I disagree simply because I think lads will be lads, So carrying the label and actually following the religion properly, they're two different things, right? So a lot of people might identify themselves as a certain group. That doesn't make you, like one of them, like predominantly, like just because you identify yourself as, or others identify you as. So yeah, like a lot of white people.
I suppose what I'm trying to do is make a distinction between Sikhism and say Islam, or Hinduism and Islam, because the Hindus aren't asking for their own set of courts. Sikhs aren't asking for their own set of courts. They don't want that. Whereas a lot of Muslims are asking for that openly.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, they seem to be. We are like asking for less in that regard. We just want to get by. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to say that we have this identity that's based around our religion, and in British culture that's fine, that's acceptable as far as I'm concerned. I know that there are other people who would disagree with that. I think we could have an argument about that, or a debate about it.
At the same time, I would say that it's closer to Christianity with the Muslims than it is with the Sikhs and the Hindus, right? So because again, that the belief system that Christians have become more tolerant and they are more flexible now, right? However, there is still extreme kind of like Christianity. We saw on you just played something from the flags being torn up by a Christian preacher, right? And yeah, so when it comes down to that still exists, and there are fundamental kind of like extreme Christians out there, just as extreme as the Muslims in that regard. So both are as bad as each other in my point of view, and both are the largest, like faiths in the world. So
wait. Are you comparing Bob the Builder to Muhammad Hijab?
No. The Brian Tanaki from New Zealand, when he came over on Tommy's stage, where they were spitting and waving their willies over these flags, right? The Sikh flag, right? The Sikh religious flag, the Hindu flag, Buddhist flag, LGBTQ, X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth. So again, in my opinion, this goes against British culture. We're quite a tolerant culture and tolerant society, right? And I believe that inviting him onto the stage and talking about this sort of like raise the flags and and so on and so forth, I just felt like it was counterproductive inviting such a speaker, and it's such an extremist, and even Raj, called him an extremist, right? So yeah, like end of the day, a lot of people do, and would you disagree? Like, was it counterproductive? Was this the kind of Christianity that you want in your country?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are realizing start fighting fire with fire.
Also, you do want this kind of Christianity in your country.
I'm not
Okay.
saying I want it. I'm just saying
It sounded
what
like it. Well, you say
I'm-
yes or no answer.
No, I'm just giving you a kind of like an understanding why people are turning to a more extreme version of Christianity to counter a more extreme version of Islam.
Interesting. So an extremist
It's a
for another extremist.
reaction,
Okay.
you know.
So another Christchurch massacre. All right. In reaction. Yeah. So that you encourage another
Yes,
Christchurch massacre.
Christchurch massacre would have never happened if there
No?
wasn't mass immigration.
No.
So
you
must
think
fight
you
it
think
at the source. We must not go for the
Oh,
symptoms
okay.
of the source. We
Wow.
must go for the source of the problem, not the symptoms.
All right. I'm interested. Ollie, what do you think about this demonstration here?
Well, what we're seeing now, this
Yes,
guy.
correct. Yeah.
Oh, the guy's nuts. I think he is an extremist. I think Tommy was probably mistaken to get him on. I don't think he probably knew what he was going to say, but he was, he said it was a free speech rally. So this guy is expressing free speech, which, I'm all for these people who've been able to say these things out in the open. I wouldn't want to censor him. I don't agree with him.
So free speech, right, is one thing. What about hate speech? What do you think about that hate speech?
I think you can say hateful things.
So
People say hateful things.
So you could say hateful things, okay? So like when does it become to a point where people can, become radical and extreme, and you get things like your Christchurch massacres, for example?
I don't think Christchurch was caused by people's speech. I don't feel that it was. I think it's probably caused by an extreme backlash reaction by extremists.
What about Muslim extremists, where they're probably being given some propaganda, right, as to like how people view us, or like, let's just say us, as in like we're Muslims, right, and we're all hated by this community of people as X, Y, and Z, and this is what's happening to our people, showing children being killed in Muslim children being killed and so on, right, as you would with, like, I don't know, Christian children being killed in Muslim countries or something, I don't know, but like it's like it's a wouldn't it be one second bro, 1 second, if you don't mind, bro, I don't interrupt you, bro, I'm not interrupting you.
Let's just ignore that history. Let's just
bro, can you just, if you don't mind, please, yeah, all right, I'll lose my trail of thought otherwise, yeah. So like when it comes down to it, all I'm saying is it's like that kind of fuel for hatred, right, will create a radical extremist, right, from any group, Sikh, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever, yeah, Christian, whatever. So like where should we, try and tackle it? That's what I'm talking about. Where is it too much?
I think the issue is, how do you police that? Who's to say what is hateful or what isn't hateful? There is no sort of standard for acceptable speech.
Right, so
who holds it? Who's to say that Mohammed Hijab holds an extreme position on Islam? Maybe that is the position on Islam.
Right, no, I understand that it might be, right, but again, it can be. So Islam is a little bit blurry, right? Because again, it's a very gray area, yeah, because it can be interpreted in a black and white point of view, right? And it can be obviously interpreted in a lot softly, than it is. So again, it's very, very gray area. So the ISIS lot look at it in a black and white point of view. Kill the kafir, So for example, right, like that literally means, yeah, non-believers, we interpret that as anybody who isn't a Muslim that thinks like us, we're going to kill them, right, for example. So like when it comes down to some Christians that are being taught that, these lot are coming after us and so on and so forth, we should go after them, like Jay just said here, tit for tat kind of a thing, yeah, right. It wouldn't happen if there weren't extreme circumstances already happening already. So, and this is a repercussion of that. I obviously think that it's wrong, and I disagree with it, but you're talking about free speech, and I'm interested in the free speech part, because I think that I don't believe in there's ultimate free speech, and what's the other one?
Absolute. There's absolute free speech.
Absolute free speech, and what's the other one after that?
Limited, I suppose.
Well, I guess I think it's called something else.
No,
But
no, there's no free speech.
So do you believe in absolute
There
free
is another.
speech?
There is another one.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
Free, truthful speech.
Okay, I think that's probably comes under absolute. But like, so do you believe in absolute free speech, Ollie?
I don't believe in absolute free speech because that would include people's ability to incite violence,
Right.
Or panic. You know, you couldn't say that there's fire in a crowded room. That would incite panic. That's against. I would be against that. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd be against that.
Yeah, but I mean, the limits of free speech for me would be very minimal. You know, you'd have to be literally kind of in front of somebody inciting violence, and then someone to actually kind of act on that in a way. It would have to be provable that somebody actually acted on that violent.
No, but what about the emotional kind of propaganda that people put out there? Like, you had an interview with Tommy Robinson and who's that lady that was a Muslim? Bagsi, what's her name? Freaking.
Oh, are you talking about the Pakistani lady who had an interview with him? Lubna,
right? Yeah, Lubna. So she was talking about when she was a teenager, right, in school, and they had an extremist basically, kind of go to their school and show them videos about like children being butchered, right, and killed and so on and so forth. And it made her think that shit, these are after us, right? Like the white people are our enemy and so on and so forth, right? Like it's not them talking and saying it, they're just showing you and making an emotional trigger and making you like make your position, you know what I mean, like from just watching the video. That's just as wrong, right? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think that would come under sort of free speech or curtailing someone's free speech. But like when you talk about Muhammad Hijab expressing extreme views, the guy's a buffoon, and we can see he's a buffoon by the things that he says. If he weren't allowed to say them, he would say them in private to people. We know that, and he would hold these views privately, and then nobody would be able to scrutinize his views. We would just think he was just someone like anybody else. But as soon as people open their mouths to say these ridiculous things, we know that they're ridiculous.
So is free speech?
There's something. Hold on. There's something I attribute to Pavlov. Now I don't know where he got it from, but the first person I heard say it was Pavlov at Speaker's Corner. He says, "Free speech is the crown upon a wise man's head and the bell upon the fool." So you can tell who it is. So I think the best thing you can do for idiots is to let them talk, because and allow everyone to see them for what they are.
So is it helping the extremists? Free speech, having like this limited or absolute free speech, is it helping?
No, because the thing is, what you don't realize is that whether you grant people free speech or not, they will still have their say. These groups in Iran, you think in Iran, those who don't like the government just don't say anything at all? No, conversations still take place. They just happen to happen. They take place in echo chambers, and they take place in confined, back rooms and in secrecy. And the problem with that is that if you live in what you consider to be a civilized modern society, and that you live in a good, happy society, those people who wish to destroy your society will still have those conversations. But this time you won't even be allowed, you won't even know about it to challenge it. So they will actually create more radicals than the ones who do it in public. I would wager there are 1,000 more mullahs who in secret are creating radicals that you will never hear about than Muhammad Hijab, who you can mock on a live stream. Muhammad Hijab is the fool in front of you that everybody can see, whilst there are insidious people in the background who you'll never hear about. You'll just see their work in play when a jihadi goes and does some crazy act.
I think the limit should be like they should be free what they should say, but they should be held responsible if they cost people or financially, especially.
Well, we have libel laws. We have laws to deal with such things. If they're slandering someone or libelous comments, you can sue people. Muhammad Hijab, yet again, another example where he was screwed over by the spectator.
He's made himself bankrupt by his own idiocy.
There you go.
His own speech, and he's free to have done that. He needn't have done that.
Yeah, I absolutely welcome that.
And he's being held accountable for what he said. There are consequences to the things that you say. I'm not saying that there ought not to be, but I don't think there should be necessarily legal ones. Like when we look at, say, the example of the BNP, they were openly racist, but they were a political party who were openly racist. They were complete nutcases, in my view.
Right.
But
You're saying it should be illegal to be a racist?
No, I'm saying that they should be allowed to say those things.
Yeah.
But if you had curtailed their speech and censored them and said you cannot even listen to the speeches of the BNP, the first thing they would have done is say, well, they're censoring us because what we're saying is true, and they're scared of us. That would be the narrative.
It does encourage that kind of behavior. Then it's like saying, yeah, they're shutting us down because we're speaking the truth.
So James Watson, the guy who discovered DNA, when he gave a honest answer why he thinks Africa is never going to develop the same way, because of genetics, then he's a pariah, he must be blacklisted, he must have his Nobel confiscated,
No, he's got the right to be wrong, that's
but he's not. That's why
there's many people who debate
that's why they came down on him so hard, and it's more and more scientists are starting to lean towards his ideas. It's the cycle of history is just like moving to one pendulum.
Are you? I mean, I know, James. You're sort of fan of the bell curve, right? You know which the book I'm talking about. Ollie, do you know it as well? I think Ollie might know it, but
is this about the race and intelligence?
Yes, yeah, and the correlations of that, and I went through that book years ago. I'll be honest, I got to go over it again. It's just, look, the fact is that there are certain genetic attributes which some people have and others don't. For example, fast twitch muscles in African Americans, in actually certain muscle types in even West Africans. The same with IQ. But the problem is, I don't agree with the conclusions of that book in the sense that they try to attribute everything to do with IQ to be as part of your genetics, and that there are no growth and there are no abilities to change that, because it has been shown that that can actually happen. And I think James, you and I have discussed this in regards to good food and diet, for example, that has improved IQ levels. The problem is IQ is not really a sophisticated method of measuring intelligence. There is actually another one called what was it?
EQ.
No, yeah, was it EQ? Is that what it is?
Big nose is EQ.
EQ,
well,
maybe.
EQ.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, of course, other people talk about emotional intelligence, but yeah, there are other methods which can measure an overall intelligence of a person.
Emotional, you say that in like sort of like a derogatory way, emotional intelligence, but emotional intelligence is very important. Is it not?
It doesn't actually.
I mean,
exist.
like I was watching. I was
There
going to
is no
review.
intelligence behind emotion.
Well, I was going to review a documentary, an interview with a policeman, and I forget the guy's name. Anyway, he, I think he interviewed Lubna, not Lubna, the other one from that Muslim guy who doesn't like freaking Muslims. Yeah, the woman who, is always on the thing. But yeah, sorry, I'm really not helping.
like you described nothing to me.
I know, exactly. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
That woman who doesn't like that thing.
I'm so shit with names. Yeah, you have no idea. I'm terrible with names.
You're not even giving like a descriptor that's close to something that can be even Googled.
Noria Khan.
Oh, Nuria Khan. Yeah.
So the guy who interviewed her, right? Do you remember? The last one, anyway, that white guy who's always doing these interviews. He's not that Liam Tough guy. He's the other one with the hair.
Are you talking about Heretic?
I think so.
Yeah. Is it Adam Gold?
I think so. Yeah.
Smith
so he done one with the police officer recently, right? He mentioned
Batsy,
Batsy,
I'm just going to hop off, and I'm just going to come back on. All right.
No worries, James. Have a good one, mate. Peace. Thanks for coming.
So basically, with that, What happened? Okay, so he mentioned about freaking emotional intelligence in regards to like, so he's talking about freaking like why people behave the way they do, right? In terms of like nonsensical behavior and you know what I mean, just kind of like you know what I mean, predatory behavior or bad behavior in general, right? Like you know what I mean, where people can be very intelligent, like who's that guy that freaking what's his name? Fucking hell. What do they all call me? They call me fucking Triller Tate. Yeah, that's it. So Andrew Tate. Yeah. Andrew
Oh
Tate's
yeah.
quite an intelligent guy, right? But you know what I mean, he is not emotionally intelligent because he acts like a fucking teenager living a fantasy. Do you know what I mean? So when I heard him describe it like that, I was thinking to myself, you know what? And again, he's talking about that person has probably gone through some childhood trauma for him to become like that. Do you know what I mean? So emotional intelligence is really important. Like you can be very intelligent. Andrew Tate is very intelligent, by the way, in my opinion. However, his emotional intelligence is like a teenager. You know what I mean? Just wants to fuck every woman that's in his sight.
Well, that's what he claims. To be perfectly honest with you, I think Andrew Tate is mostly performative than actual substance. There's a lot of stuff that he does for the sake of the performance of it. He doesn't even, up until only very recently, even admitted that he even had children because he knows the PR part of it doesn't really work too well. It's much better that he's a playboy, philanthropist, multi-billionaire in his Bugatti.
That's Iron Man's words. Fucking hell.
No, but it is kind of like that because that's the image. Yeah, he wants to be Iron Man. He's literally adopting the Tony Stark from Iron Man 1 because Tony Stark became actually much different character later on. But from Iron Man 1, that gambling, womanizer, multimillionaire genius, that's the image that Andrew Tate would love to portray.
Well, really, he's just a predator.
Well, he's a predatory pimp. Is what he is. That's how he actually made his money. I mean, me and my brother were talking about it.
He's a smart, intelligent guy, but again, what has made him into that, right? And
well,
again,
he's smart enough to get good people around him.
Well, he's not smart enough not to do something as stupid as he's done, right? To make some of that money. When it come down to it, he's exploited young women, right? He's also freaking been in a relationship with a freaking a minor. Because he mentioned the age. Nobody else.
I don't know if it was him. I thought maybe it was his brother. But
no, he did. But my point being, it's like you were taking the piss out of emotional intelligence. So I feel like it's relevant. That's my
yeah. I mean, I don't think of it as intelligence. I mean, you can be aware of emotions and control of your emotions, but it's not like it's this thing that.
Do you want to
rebrand feminist comment?
Do you want to relabel it? Is that what it is for you? Like,
no, it's just feminism. It's the feminist thing. They go, oh yeah, I want a man who's emotional. He's got good emotional intelligence.
No, but again, you're taking
doesn't actually exist.
No, but again, you're doing it again.
Yeah, but it's because it doesn't actually exist in the way IQ exists.
Is a good example of it, right? Like would you say that he's an intelligent person?
Who?
Andrew Tate.
I'd say he's smart enough to know that he's not smart enough.
He comes across like a smart guy, right? You can have a conversation. You can have a conversation with him about a lot of things, right? But he seems very hyper, right? He seems very like hyperactive and so on and so forth, right? I think he's lacking emotional intelligence in that regard. Like he has doesn't have much control over his emotions.
I don't know. I mean, all I see him as, yes, he's smart. He knows how to get good people around him to get things, that to project a particular image of him, and he's a good performer. This is why he is up front. His brother takes a little bit more of a back seat, but his brother also is the two up front. But actually, the people behind the scenes were actually exposed by some documentary I saw. I think it was a Vice documentary where they actually followed the. I don't want to say it, but it's the people of the tribe, if you know who I mean, of a certain tribe, of a certain desert tribe that did an exodus out of Egypt.
Who you're talking about.
I want to narrow it down for you guys.
Who you're talking about.
I know you have no idea. It's but the people of the tribe are behind him, shall we say?
Oh yeah, they are now.
No, they're definitely. I mean, even though he's got Muslim, he's become a Muslim and this and that. Again, a lot of it is performative.
Isn't that the same move that freaking Russell Brand did, becoming a Christian, like, to avoid, you know what I mean, the whole grape thing and everything else.
I don't know.
He did, didn't he?
No,
Russell
he didn't
Brand
become
went
a.
the other way.
He became a Christian before all the allegations.
I mean, the allegations.
But
He knew
Russell
were
Brand,
coming.
I think he sees himself as Jesus. He doesn't want to follow Jesus. He wants to be
I
Jesus.
always liked Russell Brand though. See, I was always a fan of Russell Brand. I ain't gonna lie, like I always liked the guy, like in terms of like when it comes down to his intelligence, like he the way he talks about certain things. I loved reviewing his videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I don't think he's like wrong in lots of things. I think he's right in a lot of things.
Well, he was wrong in a lot of things before he did his flip on liberalism and wokeism, and especially after I think COVID woke a lot of people up to what is really going on and what they're selling you. So he did a 360, or he did a bit of a flip. He's still very much a liberal in a lot of ways.
Sure.
He's not in any way a conservative, even though he's become like a Catholic. But nevertheless, he's at least with the large audience that he has, he's giving some decent truths out there. Maybe, but I don't consider him a conservative in any way. I don't see him. I think he's a liberal he's basically like a 90s liberal now, rather than the woke.
So cool. So where do you want to go from here? I mean, like, dude, I'm loving your Clint Eastwood shawl. It's not the exact same colors, but loving it, bro. You know what I mean? A massive Clint Eastwood fan.
By the way, can I say, Ollie, is that an actual background? That is beautiful.
Yeah,
that is a beautiful place. I don't know if anyone.
You done it on purpose, Baxi, to show you up. You can.
If people have seen this, this is how I would like my background to look. Look. It looks gorgeous. Is that actual fire in the fireplace then?
No, that's just a light.
Oh, that's a light, but that looks gorgeous. And that is, look at that. Look at that. Look at the ladder.
Where do you live? Like what country?
He lives in he lives in out in the sticks. He doesn't live
in England.
Yeah.
Well, Wales, North Wales.
So it's your basement.
It's actually a garden shed.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh,
It looks
nice.
gorgeous.
You got your man cave. Oh, dude, I got my man cave. Well done. Dory, I'm going to show mine up soon, but mine ain't completed yet. I'm spending too much money on my missus, bro. Fucking hell. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I was watching a video on the whole manosphere type thing, and the women it's all over TikTok. They call it the single tax. If you ever fancy going down that rabbit hole, type single tax in TikTok, and there's just scores of women complaining about how life is expensive without a man.
Oh yeah, let him suffer.
Like no shit, love. all those dinners and shit that you used to go to. Yeah, now you have to actually pay for those. You have to pay for those days out. You have to pay for those weekend trips to Paris.
You know what, dude? You got to pay for your woman too, bro. When you get one, bro. Be prepared. Like my one is like low maintenance compared to other women. But she's it's still expensive.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But what I mean is women, especially these sort of younger women, have been basically had men bankroll their lifestyle for so long that when they most of them look like they're hitting 30, hitting that wall, and they're still unmarried, which is going to be a large portion of society in the years to come. And when they hit the wall, men aren't chasing after them anymore, or as much as they used to. And if anything, they're just hitting and quitting it, ghosting them. They're just, Tinder date. They're just Netflix and Netflix and chilling with them.
Yeah.
And they're not paying for things anymore. So men are checked out.
If you want, I've done the whole thing in it. Like, if you want the temporary kind of like, one after the other lifestyle, right? Then fine, whatever, right? Then you just focus on you. But if you do find one, and you want to focus on it and make it work, then be prepared to spend a bit of money, because I'm telling you now, other people are spending more money on part-time girlfriends, not fucking full-time. So, they make comparisons. You can't make yours feel less than others, and they're well aware, especially if they're working and they're outside in the real world, they're not isolated, whatever. they're going to be well aware of what other women are getting. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I was watching this video of one of these manosphere MGTOW type guys. Just the whole host of women just complaining. Oh, rent is so expensive when you're on your own. The thing is, what I find amazing is that majority of these women, this is how browbeat or how much life has beaten them down now. They're not even asking for a man to pay for it all. They were just saying, can we just split it 50-50? We managed to grind them down to 50-50, boys. They're willing to even split the bill at this point.
But dude, Bagsy, this is it. Like, this is where you're like, dude, who prospers in these environments where they're not getting any dates? There are always going to be the chads and everything else, right? That are just going to get it for free anyway. So really and truly, dude, yeah, like, you know what I mean? There are always other guys out there that you're opening up the avenue to that are willing to put money in them and so on. So yeah, there are a lot of good women out there that are just
good luck to them. Good luck to those boss bitches. If the girl wants to be a boss girl, go for it, girl. Cling on to that career. Don't let go. Be in your 40s and childless and unmarried.
When it comes down to
hang in there, girl.
Even though you talk about freaking 1960s kind of fucking outlook in the UK, right? Like where it's mostly white people, dude. That mindset of the man, you know what I mean, in that time era, looking after everything, still exists. You know what I mean? And yeah. You know, look after everything, bro.
I mean, this kind of rolls into so many of the other social factors as well. It is true that, I mean, you see, for me, I'm at an age where I'm almost checked out of society as a whole. I'm not that bothered about them.
You all can
pretty much slaughter yourselves.
You're like 50. Banksy, what are you, 50?
How dare you? How dare you? Let's just say I'm in the autumn years of my life.
I am gonna be fucking until I'm fucking 80, mate. All right.
Trilla, I can tell you, I know exactly how old he is. I'm not saying that.
Stop. But what I will say is that, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like sex and women. That hasn't changed, but it's not as paramount as it used to be. I don't have the.
You would agree that it's hard to find a good woman.
It still is. But what I am
when
glad
you
about.
Find one, just be prepared to spend some money. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what I am glad about is someone says he's 59. Kiss my ass. Oh, it's you. It is the YouTube.
Mate, I just bought my beard dye fucking yesterday for my nephew's fucking wedding on Saturday, bro.
I do have some trepidation or concerns for my young nephew. He's 10. He's gonna come up in this world of just dog shit, and I am worried about him and the future that he may have in this country. But his dad's very rich, and there's a good chance he can move to a freer country. He could probably emigrate to the United States when this country goes to the caliphate. So on that level, I'm a little bit worried about my nephew.
What are you worried about exactly? What?
What future he's gonna have in this country, because most people are checking out.
My nephew's getting married, right? He's 30, right? I'm 40, and I just told him, listen, look, be 99% in, be 1% out, right? Because I know that this is the first. I remember when it was like when I got married, right? I was 100% in, and when it didn't work out, heartbroken. Yeah, it took me years to get over that shit, right? But I just told him, dude, listen, 99% in, 1% out, as in like it might not work out, right? Just be prepared mentally that it might not work out and be okay with it. So don't throw all your fucking, you know what I mean? Like mentally, don't throw everything in one basket, you know?
That's the problem, Trilla. You see, I on the other hand, was advised by a great man known as Yoda. He said, do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, no. I don't see. This is it. So, like, again, though, try, but literally 99. You gotta give yourself that 1%. Like, all I'm saying is, like, because again, like, if you're not gonna go for it, but just be prepared for the worst. That's what I'm saying. Somebody might die of natural causes, for example, and some people are totally heartbroken and they never recover from it because of it. Just be prepared to lose. You know.
Well, I mean, you know, that's what a loser would say.
Not at all. Not at all. That's what. See, a winner loses before they win. All right. They're
Be
always
prepared.
Dude,
Always be
remember,
prepared for
I'm
disappointment.
I was a competitive sportsman, dude. Yeah, I played fucking
Tiddlywinks.
hundreds of football games, competitive football matches. Yeah,
Mm.
and dude, we lost some games. You get me, right? But we won most of them because you get me. Like we didn't like losing. We hated it.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. Actually, losing. I have an image which I always post. I forgot now. I gotta go find it, but I'll post it later. Where it's an image of three lanes, and the first one is what average people think winning looks like, and it's just like a straight road with win and lose. You know what I mean? You win or you lose, and then it says this is what intelligent people think this is what I forgot, is it intelligent or experienced people think how winning looks like, and it's all like it's a zigzag of you lose, you move on, you lose, you try again, you lose, you try again, you lose, and then you finally you fail, and then you finally win. And really intelligent people, how it looks like is the same zigzag, except you fail, you learn from that failure, then you try again and you fail, and then you learn more from that failure, and then you try again and you fail, and you learn even more from that failure, and eventually you succeed. So that is how it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, school doesn't really teach you that. It took me a long time to learn that failing isn't actually a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Because in school, though, they give you a test, pass or fail. That's it. One time, one shot. Maybe you'll do a retake. But they really teach you this concept of losing is a life devastating event that like
But
your whole
it can
world is
be.
going to collapse
But
around you.
It can't. See, there are two ways looking at it. It can be like literally. It is life and death sometimes. You know, like literally, you lose your life. You know, you got in ultimatums. You have to
that
make
is
a life.
how many times in your life
Right.
your life has been on the line?
Fight
like,
or run.
There was a
Yeah.
gun to your head. There was this
Yeah.
there's
Dude,
this Russian
many, but
roulette
it's
moment that if you
Yeah.
win, if you lost,
Dude,
your brain would explode
I
out this
had a
side.
gun to my head, yeah, and I had to call the bluff. Just sit there and just fucking, you know
No,
what I mean? Like,
but was it
you know
a
what I mean?
was it a
Like,
game that
bluff
you
it.
played that you had to win?
No, it's a real fucking life and death situation.
Yeah, but what I mean is though, was it a win or lose situation?
Dude,
that if you lost, you would
yeah.
literally be
Dude,
dead.
Like, I'll tell you one scenario. There were 20 guys, that fucking 25 guys, whatever, run up into the house that me and my mates were chilling in. There were 4 of us, right? There were like 25 of them. They had guns. We had nothing, yeah? And fucking, like, all we had was, like, our wit. And we just told them, yeah, we just said, as soon as they could break through this door, shoot them. What happened? They fucking ran, yeah? Like, they were in the house. They were robbing it up, yeah? And you know what I mean? As soon,
But
we
that's
just
not
fucking,
a win or lose situation.
but we won. We were alive at the end of it.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
it wasn't. I'm talking about like events that happen. Things
That was a win
like
situation,
football
as far as I'm
matches,
concerned.
or taking an exam or doing some test, failing your driving test. It's actually
I
a
just
common
gave you a
thing that a
real
lot of
life
people do.
scenario, bro, and you just totally dismissed it. But whatever.
No, but it's not
That's
really
fine.
what I. Hello, Jupiter.
Right, Jupiter.
How are you, my love?
Oh, I couldn't help it. The
You
title
saw
attracted me.
the thumbnail. I knew that's a clear
Clickbait.
clickbait. Absolutely. I'm gonna put my hand up. I clickbaited the shit out of this one. I couldn't think of anything else.
I only jumped on, Bagsy, because you said to me, why did you try and bait me on your last channel? You said to me, so your last live stream, you said, oh, Triller, I was waiting for you to jump on because you were talking about Tommy, but you didn't invite me on your panel. Like, why the fuck did you
What do
just
you
say
mean? It
jump
was an
on?
open panel. My last live was an open panel.
Yeah, but you said you expected me to jump on at the end of your show.
Well, I was just thinking because it was of the conversation we had in your previous live or whatever. When on my live, when I said, you're not the sharpest tool in the box.
Dude, just ask me.
I kind of said it.
Dude, I'm busy. I've got a life, yeah? All right? When it comes down to it, if you want me to jump on your panel, then just fucking ask.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
fucking
I mean, because that particular
bait me.
stream wasn't really about it. I just thought you might jump on anyway. Because
Yeah.
narcissists
What,
tend
'cause I got
to
nothing
when
to do.
they hear their
Narcissist,
name.
me.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
Banksy, I know you like being called
Jupiter's the
HAFEZ,
biggest
but-
narcissist here. Just saying.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I am. I can't judge
Yeah,
myself,
yeah,
so
you're
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah, all right, really.
Some people tell me that, and others tell me I'm not. I really don't know.
Oh my god.
So, Banksy, I've just seen a really good stream that Tommy Robinson put out. I don't know if you've seen it.
Ooh.
But
About?
yeah, you are aware he's got his YouTube back now.
Oh yeah, I follow it. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen the stream where he actually goes to meet the Jewish
in
Tommy
Israel.
Robinson? Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the
Oh,
the
you have got
thumbnails.
to watch it because it breaks down the politics that's going on, and it kind of. So basically, there, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Over here in the Western world, we're led to believe that in Israel that they're chucking out all the black people, that they don't want illegal migration. There's this belief that all of the immigrants are being put here so that the Jews from some quarters can sort of like take over the world, yeah? But what he's actually done is gone and spoke to people within this vicinity and people that are activists there.
Mm-hmm.
They are having illegal migrants coming over the Sinai, waiting at the borders, and the Israeli government go out and collect them and bring them in, just like our government are doing to us.
With the boats.
Yeah, you've got to see it. It's brilliant.
Oh, is that the one where there's a lady and it says the Israel's hidden illegal migration crisis?
Yes.
Because I saw that and I was like, yeah, I'll come around to watch it, but then I just haven't gone around to it. So essentially, Israel is getting, the Israeli government is doing the same thing as we are over here.
Yes,
just picking them up, shoveling them in.
Yes.
And these are not Jews; these are just any migrants from everywhere.
No, they're not Jews. So it's really interesting. I mean, I've broken it down on mine, but it'd be interesting for you to later to go away and watch it, and maybe you do a breakdown because you'll see stuff that I don't see. I know that. So
Interesting. Yeah, because I saw the title, but I haven't. It's just that it's always the impression, at least we get, which I think is relatively fair, is that Israel's borders are like locked tight, like nobody gets in. It's incredibly difficult to get into Israel. There's just no migrants, nothing. And in fact, as you said, the rumors were that they were actually not allowing Ethiopian Jews to go because they're black. This is some, people claimed, even though that was debunked because Ethiopian Jews actually live in Israel anyway. But then again, another rumor rose up, which I haven't really confirmed, that they are secretly sterilizing all the Ethiopian Jews so that they won't breed because, obviously they're not of the correct color code. They don't come up right on the color chart.
well, what was interesting for me, and you'll probably be much more educated and be able to break it down in other avenues and stuff than what I can articulate. But what was interesting for me is, right, you get the group of people that are anti-Semitic who say that there's a conspiracy theory that George Soros is paying people, which we know is true, to get NGOs to help illegal migrants come into our country. But it's more than that. When you actually break it down, you understand that these people in Israel on the ground are saying, yeah, we've got the same problem here. We don't like Soros either. And it's not that the Jews are doing it so that they keep their country pure from illegal immigrants. We've got the same problem. Soros is involved. We don't like him, kind of thing. But it shows that when some of these people come forward and want to talk and people brand them anti-Semitic, that actually you should have the conversations, because a lot of what they're saying is based in actual fact that Jewish people themselves are having the same problem with, because it's actually not all Jews, it's left-leaning Jews that are pushing the cultural Marxism and communism.
And that's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, so it was brilliant. Well, it's not to some, because what they do is they silence people that want to question stuff by straight away saying, oh, you can't say that because George, just because he's a Jew, you're saying that. And actually, that's the thing that's coming from the left.
We know there are far right Jews, especially in Israel, are promoting what they're promoting. You know what I mean? So, go on.
Well,
you know, I mean, you're right. I think this is simply a left-right situation where this agenda has been pushed all across liberal Western countries, and I would consider Israel to be a liberal Western society. Really, I mean, they're a democratic sort of Westernized society. So I guess that's what it is. That's what everybody's complaining about. By the way, I'm just putting up the image for image sake. I'm not going to myself play it at the moment because I haven't actually seen it. So I'll yeah.
there's
I'll first
nothing.
watch
There's
it and
nothing
then I'll come back in.
outrageous in there. There's nothing outrageous in there. I mean, you could play it if you wanted to, but
Well, I just want the conversation to flow. I don't want us to stop.
Yeah,
because
no,
it's
I
a 20-minute
understand that.
thing, so it's going to put a
Yeah.
massive stop on the
Yeah,
whole thing.
but it is
20 minutes
something
too
I
much,
think that you
yeah.
might want to look at and break down.
Hmm.
But it also, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think some of these people will go out there that are really anti-Semitic are disgusting. I mean,
Who
I can't.
like who?
I can't.
Like
Well,
who?
people who try to do Nazi salutes of any kind, whether that
Like
be
Elon Musk.
whether that
Elon
be
Musk didn't do a
he
Nazi
didn't do a Nazi salute, but you
Whoa,
wouldn't know
oh,
that
really?
because you're left
Oh no,
leaning.
hold on.
Probably.
Technically, it wasn't a Nazi salute, but the whole world thinks that. Obviously, you know what I mean. He was trying to do something similar.
Actually, Triller, I was
Yeah.
thinking more of the Palestinian people out there that are very anti-Semitic.
or other people that have done
Palestinian
something similar.
supporters on their marches.
What have they
But,
done? What have they done?
What I also wanted to say as well, Banksy, did you see? I know it's becoming very high Jewish topic tonight, but through me, but it's just interesting because that's what the politics is at the moment, where they're trying to sort of like divide people, and it's very interesting what's happening at the moment. Did you see that they banned Jewish people from going to Birmingham to watch Aston Villa have a match because they can't guarantee their safety?
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's on GB News.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
well,
mean, what a precedence has set.
Yeah. The thing is, Jews, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Jews have known that they're not safe in Britain anymore for quite a few years. That's why Joseph Cohen left. Joseph Cohen moved his entire family to literally in the middle of this war that has been raging for the last couple of years. After October 7th, he moved his family to Israel. He would rather live under the threat of Hamas rockets in Israel than to live in Britain.
But
That's
hold
the
on.
level of fear that he had.
Hold on. Since the Jews have been here, they've been persecuted by the, what you claim to be English people.
That's not
right?
true.
Yeah, they have been. That's not true. I could debunk you immediately. When it comes down to it, you can just literally Google anything about how Jews were treated in this country, right? And they were treated very badly in this country.
Well, are you talking
From
about
the
which
1920s?
era? In the
Okay,
1920s?
yeah, you're living in the
Yeah.
past again, though, Triller. aren't you?
Of course, I'm referring to the past. But when it comes down to it, right, from then until now, right, it's like you're talking about now, right? But they're not
it's
safe.
happening
They haven't
again.
been safe from then.
No.
Yeah,
it's-
because
no,
I'm
you
not
see, this
living in
is
the
where I
past.
disagree. No, this is where I disagree. I can agree that there was a time, probably in the early 1900s or 1800s even, where the Irish didn't feel safe. You forget that the Irish weren't exactly particularly welcome in this country either. The Jews probably didn't feel safe. Many other minority groups probably didn't feel safe or welcome because there was a sense of bigotry towards the other. There was the outsider.
They were different. They were immigrants.
But what I'm saying is that you can't possibly say at the minimum from the 60s and 70s, probably even the 50s, but let's say the 60s onwards, and all throughout the 90s up until the 2000s, Jewish people have not been fully integrated and welcome into this country.
I mean, similar to like how the Poles, right, were treated, World War II, and they were sort of like, they left their country to fight in the RAF, right, and they basically, had they were the best dogfighters. The Polish regiment, I forget their name.
Okay.
It's in Southall, by the way. The monument for the Poles that basically died and fought for this country. There's a monument erected for the Polish people, but in Southall. But yeah, when it come down to it, all I'm saying is it's like they were treated like dog shit. by the English people in this country, the white English people. And it's like, yeah, but they literally, you know what I mean,
Look,
were a massive participant in
the
winning the
fact is
war.
that every outsider minority group who comes into a new country is always going to have a rough period at the beginning. As because they're outsiders. You take a you go back 100.
So
You go back
English,
100 years.
so
Triller.
go on.
You go back 100 years, not even 100 years. You can go back 80 years. Take a southerner from East London and take him to York and into a pub and see how long he lasts.
Or Wales, a Londoner to Wales.
And see how long they last. Take a guy
I'll
like the
tell you
Cray
what.
brothers
I'll
and
tell you
take him
what.
up north and see how long they
I'll
last with their
tell you-
accent.
I'll tell you something. So when when white Americans, right, were freaking coming over to UK to join in World War II, right, they were literally coming into pubs in England where black people were treated equally, you know, and like, you know, part of the community,
Yes.
brothers and everything else, right? And they were like, you know, they were taking the piss out of the black people in our country. And then the Americans, right, were fucking, you know what I mean, like treated roughly by the British community, by the English community, saying, listen, you don't fucking talk to our freaking, you know, our friend like that.
Yeah, our
you know, our
black
friend
friends,
like that.
whatever. Yeah,
You
I know.
like that,
I remember
because-
those stories.
Right.
Because
Right.
Americans had separate bars. They had white bars and black bars.
That went on.
And
That went on.
they don't
went
have
into
that
the
over here.
60s, 70s, and 80s. Right. That their racism is even continuing now with, you know, what you see
Well-
that's happening in America. Right. So when
Yeah,
it comes
but-
down to it, we are different.
But what I mean is, Triller, you yourself just disproved your own point about
Exactly.
everybody being the British being racist.
I'm not trying to disprove. I'm not trying
like
to disprove.
the
I'm not trying
World
to
War
say
II was like the 1940s.
No. I'm not trying to say Britain are racist. So I don't have this black and white position. It's a very grey position. When it
I
comes
don't
down
know.
to it,
It seems
there
to me
are.
that you've gone into that, and
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
quite
Well,
understand
but-
what
right.
the point
Well,
is that you were trying to bring
help
up.
you. I'll try to help you. When it comes down
I
to
don't
it,
think
there
you're
are-
helping me.
Right,
You've confused
right.
yourself.
Well, I'll try to help you understand where I'm coming from. There
Okay.
are people in this country that are English, all right, and
Yeah.
British or whatever, that are racist and that are just gonna literally hate. And there are people
Of
in
course,
this country,
I've never denied
and there are
that. But
people
they're
in
not
this
the majority.
country.
They're not the majority.
Of course not. And there are people in this country that are for integration. So when it comes down to your position on immigration, right, and integration, right, it's like it's a very, very.
What's my position?
In general?
Yeah, go on. Tell me what my position
Why
is.
don't you tell us? You're here now.
Well, no, because
I
you're
don't need to tell
arguing a
you.
premise,
Well, you're
and you
already
don't
here.
even know what my position
well, again,
is.
you're already here, so why don't you elaborate?
Yeah, but
on
you
that?
just said your
You just
position,
argued a
indicating
position
you would
for
know
me.
her position.
So I wanted to check that you know what my position is.
Brilliant. So I'm referring to Banksy as well. We just had a discussion, right? Just a few moments ago, right, about how his position is to get majority of the minority communities out of this country. Is that your position, Jupiter?
My position is sorry. Let me just
Yeah, go
quickly add. My position is I want the British natives to be back to about 90% of the population. Yes.
So you're already 85. You want them up to 90. That's what you
Oh, at least probably even more. But yeah,
Okay.
90.
Okay, so yeah, get some immigrants out. If not, quite a few.
Well, I
Is
mean,
that
let's
your
be honest.
position, Jupiter?
If we get rid of the immigrants from the 2000s till now,
Mm-hmm.
we'll literally be there.
Okay, so is that your position?
So my position is that I want to get unsavoury characters out and reduce the numbers of immigration into this country. Yes, I would be in favour of a temporary halt. I definitely want illegal immigration.
What about
completely stopped, and the legal migration system sort of like shaken up.
What about bringing back like unsavory
Because we need to
characters
get-
that have
hold on,
settled
hold
down
on,
in
I
other
wanna
countries
finish.
that are Brits?
I want to finish.
Would
I
you want
wanna
to bring them
finish.
back?
I want to finish because we need to get a system back in place where the most evil citizens that we've got in this country, the most violent offenders,
Mm-hmm.
paedophiles, rapists of any color, including white people, face the severest of punishment. And we just don't have the infrastructure to cope at the moment, nor the places. And what we've got is a perpetual cycle that leads to a manifestation of a lower trust society. and
I'd
a
agree
much
with
more
you.
insecure society.
I'd agree
So-
with you. We'll never have the infrastructure. We never had the infrastructure from the 60s until now. But yet we coped.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
disagree. I think that 30 years ago,
mhm.
when somebody raped someone, they wouldn't be out on remand. They would
I think there were
out on bail. They would be in remand, waiting their
probably
trial.
less people in prison. But like
know?
when it comes down to Brits abroad, right? Bring them back then if they've committed crimes. Bring them back to this country.
That would be up to the other countries and what they
I mean,
accept.
don't you think that's? I mean, we don't want to be hypocrites, right? That's what we want to happen in our country. We should do the same thing, right? Bring them back.
I think that would be up to the other countries.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
if they wanted us to do that,
I know it should
yeah,
be up to them.
I
but
would.
Don't you think?
Can you allow us to answer? Can you allow me
Yeah,
to
I'm
answer
asking
without
you.
being an alcoholic? And
I'm
talking
asking
over
no, but
me?
I'm asking you. You're not an alcoholic, really.
If
So I'm
if
asking you
people
for
in
your
if
opinion. I'm not asking you for what the other countries should
Well, I'm
do.
trying to give it, and you talk
Go
over
on.
me every time.
Go on.
yeah, chill, guys. Let's just
Right.
let each other
So
talk.
for me, if other countries, what they accept in their country is up to them. Okay. I don't believe that we have the right to tell other countries what they perceive to be right for their citizens. Right. I'm all for every country has their own culture, their own genre, their own style of doing things, and their own cultural normalities. So if they don't deem it a problem, then that's up to them. But if they did deem it a problem, and we had to start taking back British citizens that have committed heinous crimes, I don't think that we should refuse it. I think we should take them back and give them the strongest sentences, like I want for citizens who are living
Right.
here
I think
committing heinous
I
crimes.
think
It's
you're being a
simple.
hypocrite. I think end of the day, if you're gonna make a stance of literally like get rid of the people that are committing heinous crimes in this country that are not from here originally, right? Do the same abroad, right? With our own citizens, we should have the same stance.
So what did I say
That's
that
it.
was hypocritical?
Because you said if they don't deem it as such, and I'm like, no, we should fucking make it absolute.
What?
That we should take back our people that have committed crimes and literally try them and give them the
So
severest
you
punishment.
want us as British people to
Yes.
tell other governments in other
Absolutely.
countries?
We are already trying to do that, aren't we?
Trilla,
So you
you
want
can't.
us to
You can't do that anyway.
disrespect
We are telling other
countries?
countries.
No, but the thing
We're
is-
trying to tell France to stop letting these motherfuckers come over.
No, Trilla,
right?
Trilla, you're mixing things up. You can't go to. Let's use Singapore. Singapore has some of the harshest punishments from a lot of countries. If a British person goes to Singapore, commits a crime, Singapore is going to punish them according to Singaporean laws. We can't go over there and go, no, bring them back to Britain, and then we'll punish them according to our standards. Singapore is just going to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Okay, so
no, you can't.
So-
you can't
so
just go to
I'm-
other countries and take their criminals off their hands.
all right, so
isn't
take
that,
that young
isn't that
man-
a burden on their freaking?
Trilla.
Isn't that a burden on their freaking system? Like if we were imprisoning like lots of different immigrants, for example, right? That's a burden
Why
on
are
our
you
system,
thinking
right?
about the worries of other countries
Why
over
not?
our country?
I told you I'm a globalist. Like, why not? I care.
You're not a
about-
globalist.
Of
What
course
you're
I am.
doing is a contrarian and somebody that is a traitor to our country.
I'm a traitor. Wow, a traitor. I think you're the minority in terms of your belief system.
I think
You
you're
are
the minority, and
you believe
use,
it. You
I
belie-
think you use your ethnic minority
Right.
status to gain sympathy.
People that believe in what you believe in this country are the minority in this country. Therefore,
So
you're
shall I tell you? I'll tell you
disfavorable,
what I
and
believe.
you are tyrannical, and you
Okay,
are
I'm
the
tyrannical.
actual terrorist.
I might be a little bit tyrannical because I'll tell you what I believe.
Go
Do you
on.
remember that recent case of that Marcus boy that was quite sad? What the people did to him when he went to, I think it was Saudi Arabia, and Dubai. He went there on holiday. He slept with a girl that would have been deemed overage in this country, and the law in that country came down on him. A lot of people over here were like, "Oh, this is terrible. This, that, and the other."
Teenager.
Yeah. Me, myself, I was glad that they was able to find a sympathised solution and take into the sentencing mitigating circumstances that he probably wasn't aware of the changes of the law and stuff, right? Okay, that was reasonable of Dubai. But if they had said no, he needed to be locked up for 10, 15 years, I would have said, well, it's sad. It's not something that I agree for my country, but that was that country's rules.
No,
and
no,
you can't argue it.
I'm sorry. You can argue it because you argue against what's happening in Afghanistan, right? When it comes down to educational girls, right, are not allowed to be educated, for
No,
example.
I
Would you not argue that? Would you not
Okay.
argue for that? I would argue for that.
Hold on. I argue that I don't think it's something that I would want for my country, but they have every right in their own country
do
to
they?
decide what they're going to do.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
All right. So I'm
Yes.
so if there are atrocious acts like I don't know, child marriage happening in those countries, right?
There are.
I know there are.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I mentioned it. So when it come down to it, yeah, you're okay with that. It's as long as it's not in your country.
But
No,
Duke,
that's where you're
Trilla,
misunderstanding.
This is what I mean. This is the problem.
That's
You
where I
see, you
misunderstand.
think that we have the. You see, this is the problem with the lefties. They complain about wrong things in other countries, but then they also complain when Britain and other countries like America interfere with those countries. So when America went over to Iraq, when America went over to Afghanistan, it was all wrong and it was all colonialism and it was all terrible. But yet when America left and now they're giving their children away to fat old men, goat herders, it's terrible. Oh, they don't let the girls study. It's like, what do you want? What do you fucking want?
It's the worst fucking example that you mentioned, Iraq, right? We went to war on the wrong premise, right? That was the fucking fault with the UK government.
Okay.
We
So
shouldn't
if
have
they
gone to
said
war on the wrong premise.
we want to go and kill and take out Saddam Hussein because we want the women of Iraq to be free, that would have been okay.
He's a tyrant, right?
So that would have been okay, right? If we gone in and take out Saddam Hussein because we want to free the women of Iraq.
Better than we think that they got nukes. Oh,
No, Triller. What you don't realize is it would be the same results,
right?
The same destruction, the same leveling of Iraq, except the excuse would be we want to free the women instead of weapons of mass destruction.
I am
without quell your fire.
Have you ever heard the phrase? It might be Greek. Yeah, the worst peace is better than the most just war. Right. So, are you familiar with that? Because I'm not an advocate of war. Right. It's the last fucking resort. Right, every war is fucking terrible, and people that have gone through it, you know what I mean, like, you know, what I mean, God help them.
What I'm saying is, the thing is, Triller, what I'm trying to get from you is that you're talking about these two sort of contradicting positions in which one you're saying it's terrible to invade Afghanistan to take out the Taliban, but yet at the same time we should sit here and lament over why are the poor women suffering under the Taliban. Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to import all the women of Afghanistan into Britain? Is that what you want? Do you want us to import all of the women and children?
But literally, that's what you're complaining about. We've gone to war, and now you're complaining about people coming into the country, you know what I mean, to support them and to help them, right? Like, that's what you are complaining about.
Now, waving machetes around and having gang violence and bringing your tribalistic conflicts here is not helping us, yeah? Telling us that we need to understand that it's okay that Jews can't go to a football match because of the Muslim insensibilities in Birmingham.
Listen,
it's just disgusting.
You're acting like British English people are better than immigrants. They're not.
No.
They're no better.
What I'm saying, no. Listen to what I believe. No, that's not what I believe. What I believe is that it was much better the system that we had before, where there was a place for everybody to live comfortably in their own ideologies, and that bore out in the personalities and the genres of each nation. And people who felt comfortable living under things like Sharia law had Sharia law countries to go and live in. People that felt comfortable living with people who wanted to sleep with and marry 9-year-olds had countries where people could go and live like that.
That's a bit of an extreme example.
I know, I'm giving you extreme examples because all the nuances in between are not really relevant. It's the extremities. It's the extremities that need that can't live together. That's what you need to understand.
God, there's one country.
So if you've got a country and people that disagree with underage marriage, and they disagree that you shouldn't chop someone's hand off because they've become a thief, right? Or because they might make
There
one
should
mistake.
be massive
Hold
outrage
on,
all
let
around
me
the world.
finish. Then we have a country for that.
So
And what you need to understand is, right, that you
Go on.
brought up the plight of the Afghanistan children and
Yeah.
women over in Afghanistan.
Mm.
But for some reason, you want me as a British woman
To
to
be
look at the
concerned.
plight of those
To be
people.
concerned, yeah.
Hold on a minute, and be concerned and
As a part of
prioritize
this planet,
and prioritize
As a
and
British woman, like
prioritize.
you're
I'm going to keep
excluded from
talking
everything
because
that's
I
happening
haven't
around the world.
finished, and you don't
Trilla,
seem to
Trilla, yeah,
understand.
give
You've got
her a
verbal
good minute.
diarrhea.
Give her a good minute. Come on.
Right. So you expect me to prioritize those women over the women and children that are suffering in this country because we've now become a low trust society where the women are not as secure, and tell us that we're not allowed to vocalize it. We're not allowed to point out the problems, and the problems are coming from the same people that are causing the problems in their homelands, and that we don't actually want those kind of men coming into our country with those mindsets if they're not willing to change and integrate. You are the problem, Trilla,
Not at
because
all.
you don't want to solve the problems
No, I
so
will.
we can have a safe
And I'm
place,
gonna tell you
so
how.
that we can have a safe place for the women here. And then maybe on a stage later on, we can have decent politicians that come from the right mindset, not your kind of mindset, by the way, the right mindset, who can go, look at our peaceful society.
Not mine.
If you
You
would
haven't
like
heard my
this,
opinion on it.
if you would like this, follow the blueprint. Because
So we're
people
having
like
a-
you,
you already
Trilla,
made up your mind
let
about
me
me.
finish. I'm going to
All right.
finish. I promise I'm going
So
to let you
I'm allowed to
respond.
make up my mind about you.
Yeah,
then.
when I finish, I'm going to respond.
Trilla, come on.
But
Relax.
people like you with your mindset, when we do that, when we actually create a nice, safe, harmony and spacious place for all citizens of all colours, right? All backgrounds, to come here, follow a law that we all follow, and people are safe, and we go back up to a higher society, security-wise, and we say, right, we've got a safe society, we've got a society that all gets on. Here is the blueprint. Would you like to follow that blueprint? We can help you implement this. We can help you make changes. People like you go, colonization, colonialist.
Not at all.
White
Exactly.
privilege.
Exactly.
White
No,
savior.
white savior complex. Exactly.
Not at all. Not at all. When it comes down to it, we are literally looking at what is happening today, all right? And not what has happened freaking 50, 60, 80 years ago, all right? We're looking at what's happening today, right? So when it comes down to society today, that's all I'm concerned about, right? What direction this country is going to go in. And it could, and I think Banksy, we had a conversation recently on my channel about how it could get worse before it gets better. And that might be an inevitability, right? Regardless, that might be a fact. And I think a lot of other people online have said that, right? That there will be,
I don't
some
think
sacrifices.
It's a might be. We can tell by the trajectory that it is going to get worse before it gets better,
Well,
because we've got
this is
chaos
worrying.
artists and anarchists running around all over
Well,
the
it's
place.
going to get
We
worse
want
on
to
your
bring in a
part.
reset. We know
It's gonna
what's
get-
happening.
yeah, right.
We're
So it's gonna
already
get-
in the throes
right.
of the
So
beginning of
it's
the
gonna get
reset. We know
worse.
what's
It's-
going on.
So your group of people are going to be doing the damage, right? Not anybody else, right? When
In
it
what
comes
way?
down to
In
it,
what way? In what way are we going to do
in
damage?
terms of freaking murder, in terms
What?
of fucking killings. What do you mean? What? So what's the worst? What's worse than that? What's worse than killing
So
and murder?
can you elaborate a bit more, step by step, and give me the full process that
Step by
makes you
step,
think?
I don't need to elaborate. So if you don't let me, so you had like God knows how long a time.
Yeah, I
to
know. That's
speak.
why I'm asking you to give me
Right.
step by step.
Yeah.
Go.
I'll get to you as soon as I finish what I want to talk about. Right. When it come down to it, look.
I'll say can't answer. Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. Right. When it come down to it, yeah. All right. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, you are considered as the far right. Okay. Your group of people are considered.
If you
far
consider
right.
me the far right, you're mental.
I've not. So again, I was interjected every time I interrupted. Right. So just chill out 1 second.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Okay,
Go on,
I'll let him speak.
Yeah. Give him a good minute, and then I want to come in, Trilla. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Now, please. When it comes down to it, right, your group of people are considered far right, and for good reason, right? You are the most dangerous group in this country, right? Simply because you're the majority in terms of who you could attract, not with who you have in your group, who you could attract in your group, okay? And that kind of group thinking is quite dangerous, right? So, in my opinion, right, I think the police and the government and everybody else in this country should be right well aware and afraid of the repercussions of, you know what I mean, like encouraging your kind of politics, right, and your kind of thought process in this kind of freaking, you know what I mean, in the day and age that we live in. Thank God we got the left, right, to combat your ethnic, racist freaking views, right? That, you know what I mean, we have to be doing things in the way that you see fit, right? Thank God we got the left to see
No,
what is appropriate,
Banksy,
right? And when it comes, hold
sorry,
on, hold
can I
on. Now
just
you're
ask
going to
you to
interrupt
say-
again. Hold on 1 second. No, I'm not.
Let
done.
it-
I'm
okay,
nearly
land
done.
it. Land
I'm nearly
this
done.
this 747 for God's
Right,
sake. Go on.
brilliant. When it come down to it, look, yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Carry on.
Okay,
No,
okay. Sorry,
hold on,
Troops.
Banksy, I
Allow
just
me.
want to ask you a question so you
Okay.
can answer it. Did he not contradict himself there? And did he not say that it's my mindset that wants to go and show other people what they should do? But apparently, I thought that's what he was arguing for 5 minutes ago.
That's exactly my thing. Triller, I would love to hear your solution to the plight of the women and children of Afghanistan and how we as the West can fix it.
Yeah.
What should we do?
Yeah, brilliant. So literally, firstly, oppose it, right? And like literally freaking like not stand by it. What the fuck are we gonna do, bro? Like they are.
So what
in
do you
charge
do?
of-
No,
they
no, no,
are-
no, no. Don't
All right.
tell. Give me sort of platitudes. Give me steps. Step one. Tomorrow morning, what should the British government do against Afghanistan?
Step one, impose, right? Like tell them like we disagree completely with what they're doing.
Yeah, I think
Step
they know
two-
that part.
All right, step two, sanctions. Okay, so sanction on their trade with the European, you know, what I mean, with NATO and everything else, right? Step three, fucking just literally make it completely deplorable to be fucking, you know what I mean, helping this country.
Okay, number
in
one.
any way, shape,
let
or
me
form, right?
let me
So
retort
they
those
would
steps.
have to, like Saudi, like with MBS, right? He's literally
Okay,
threatened
okay.
his government, right? Threatened his clerics, sorry.
You can't compare Saudi Arabia with Afghanistan. There's like a
Carry on, Banksy.
massive chasm between them. As far as Afghanistan is concerned, number one, the Taliban were considered a terrorist organization, I think, up until they took charge of Afghanistan. So when it comes to actually being against them, considering that they were at war with the Americans and British for about 20 years, we can't possibly put more sanctions on them because they were literally a terrorist prescribed organization. I don't know how much more you can actually do to an organization than that. The second thing is we literally did go to war with them for 20 years. Lots of billions were spent, and yet the Afghanis apparently couldn't fight them back, and they kind of look like they want them. So it appears that it isn't in our hands to get rid of them. It isn't in our hands to discourage them by sanctions, because they don't give a shit about sanctions. They literally live in shit in caves. They don't actually have a lot of infrastructure or commerce that they're worried about from Britain or America.
When it comes down to it, it's a long process.
So what I'm trying to tell you, is that from a leftist perspective, maybe you are one, maybe you're not, there is a no-win situation here. No, but look, there is no win here for Afghanistan. You can't, if we invade them, we're colonialists. If we ignore them, we're heartless.
Well, dude,
if
2
we
million civilians
condemn
is not an
it, it's
excuse,
just
bro.
hollow, shallow words that mean nothing.
Bro, listen, look, 2 million.
And you're
people-
racist if you
Dude,
don't want them to
look,
marry
you-
8-year-olds and 9-year-olds.
Let's not disacknowledge, right? 2 million casualties, were civilians in the Iraq War, right? That's
Dude, I'm
massive.
talking about Afghanistan here. That's why I'm narrowing
Sorry.
it down. I'm not widening the.
When
You
it
see,
comes
now
down to
you're widening the and
Alright,
you're moving the
my bad,
goalposts.
my bad, my
Stick
bad.
to Afghanistan.
All right.
Let's
so
hear the story of Afghanistan.
I don't know how many civilians were killed in that, right? But that was a 20-year conflict, right?
That's right.
20 years. That's
think over
God
20
knows
years.
how many innocent people died in that conflict, right? And when it comes down to it, dude, it's like it's a messy affair. However, the Muslim nations, right? No Muslim country follows and conducts themselves in a Sharia way fully. None, right? They have these sort of loopholes in their court
No,
system
but they'd all like
here
it
and
at the
there.
extreme end. They would all like.
no,
all
but
like.
generally
By the
speaking-
way, Jupiter, just to interrupt, do you realize right now as we speak, Pakistan is bombing Kabul?
No way.
Pakistan is a full open warfare with Afghanistan. Have you guys caught up with the news?
No,
I think you've been missing some of the news.
That was
Afghanistan is at full open warfare with Pakistan right now. And just in the last couple of days, I think day or two, Pakistan bombed Kabul. So it has reached Kabul.
That was inevitable. That was going to
But
happen.
what I'm saying is, are the Pakistanis colonialists?
No,
Are the Pakistanis
Dude,
racist?
Dude, the Pakistanis are under America. Like,
But are they
come on, bro.
colonialists because they're bombing
I wouldn't
Afghanistan?
say colonialists, but dude, end of the day, the Pakistanis, right? The people and the government are totally separate, right? And when it comes down to it, right, the government are just under orders from fucking America, right? So in
Can
general,
I ask you a question,
Go on.
Trilla, please?
Go on.
So, if you believe that what's happening in Afghanistan is culturally wrong to the women, right? And before,
Not culturally
hold
wrong,
on, let me,
ethically wrong.
let me finish. Let me
Fuck
finish.
me, bro.
When I get to the end of it, I also want to make a statement before you answer. If you think it's wrong, what's ethnically happening to the women out there?
Ethically wrong, not ethnically.
Ethically.
Ethically,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, well, you are
me,
drunk,
bro.
so ethically.
No, I'm not fucking drunk. What the fuck is wrong with you, woman?
Right,
Fuck's
right.
sake.
Okay.
Stop it.
Okay, so I thought you was, to be fair, but anyway.
It's a fairly educated guess, to be honest.
Yeah. So,
you'll be right. Like
okay,
9 out
right.
of
So
10
you
times.
think morally? Let me just say morally, right? You think it's wrong what's happening to the women out there? How do you get your head around that our country are bringing in men from out there that ideologically actually think that it's normal and are bringing in those same sort of mindsets into our country and putting women and children in Britain at threat? And before you hold on, and before you answer that, I just want to say, Trilla, I absolutely adore you lately because you're so helpful in making the right and people on the right and people that haven't even made up their minds understand just how crazy the left are and just how the only answer really is to move to the right. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. By doing what exactly?
By just giving us your answers. So explain to me.
Oh, you mean recently from like the last few days?
Well, no, I think it's gone on a bit longer than that, to be fair.
Longer? Okay, cool. So I've been supporting the flags and everything with Tommy and everything else. You mean in that time?
Yeah, no. You wouldn't understand what I've just said to you. I don't think.
No, dude.
So can you answer the question to do with Afghanistan?
Okay, so you're talking to me like, okay, like whatever I'm saying is encouraging your people, your group of people, you know what I mean, to just rally together more than before. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, crazy. Okay, cool. Repeat your thing just for a second. Just remind me what you said.
How do you get your head around and justify that if you think what men do to women is morally wrong in Afghanistan because of their ideology and their culture,
And they're coming over here.
and their mindset,
Yeah,
how
they're
do you
coming over
justify
here,
our government allowing such large swathes of Afghanistani men to come into our country to put our women and children in danger? And before you say it's just a fear, it's not. It's borne out by the
No, I
figures.
don't. I've literally been
So how do you justify it?
I don't. So I've literally been against it. I'm all against what's happening with the immigration in terms of asylum. People claiming asylum, right? Coming here, exploiting a loophole with the asylum laws, right? I'm totally against it, and I think there needs to be, more stringent and stricter checks done. I think our system has failed us, right? So I've been talking about that. This is why. So when it comes to immigration in terms of asylum, I'm literally against it, right? I think we should have it, right? However, the checks need to be more strict. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I've made that point clear for a few months now. I think I've gone against some of the mainstream opposition on these channels like Ghost and so on and so forth, right? So yeah, I don't see why you have a problem with that. How
Trilla,
am I?
Trilla.
I don't. I want you to answer.
Yeah, Trilla, do you think that I'm sorry, I say it seems to be kind of, I mean, I know Ollie isn't talking, so it's not 3-on-1, it's 2-on-1.
I really like Ollie, by the way. I think you're very
Ollie's
intelligent,
the
bro.
best.
Big up, bro. Honestly, bro, hey, bro, listen, bro. When I want to have a few freaking people on a panel one day. You know what I mean? Banksy, drop me his email one time, innit? Like, I'm gonna email you, innit?
I'm gonna give him Banksy my email. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
actually don't
God.
have his email.
Ollie,
that is
I'm
true,
gonna fucking find you. I'm gonna hunt you
social
down.
media.
You cunt. All right. I'm gonna get you on a live stream. I'm gonna drag you by your feet, mate.
I tell you what, when you're live and you want Ollie on, I'll message him.
Because the thing is, I don't want you to just give me
Did
your
you just
email
call
on these
the
panels.
C-word, Triller?
No, I don't think he did.
I think he did.
Who?
He said, I'm going to drag you, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to hunt you down, you C-word.
It was in a friendly way.
It was. But
Anyway.
full on.
Anyway.
Everyone's a cunt out here. But go on, carry on.
Listen, Trilla, what I wanted to say was that in regards to oh dear God, it's gone. It's gone out of my brain. It was right there. Well, it was in regards to you see, the thing is, I can see your fears. I can see, as a foreigner, your fears, because that is what all foreigners should really have. The thing, my thing, and I said this at the top of the conversation, is that I can see how if we don't address these issues now, they are gonna lead to those very, very horrible dark days of
Banksy,
rolling
you're not
gangs in
even
the
born
streets.
here. My ex-girlfriend actually likes listening to you, by the way, right? Like,
Oh,
as in,
dear
like, or when you came on my, she listens to my live streams, yeah, sometimes.
Oh, I see.
And she says she skipped the part of the last stream. She skipped the Nixie Amy beef, innit, yeah.
Oh,
And
I
listened to, you know, I mean, our conversation. She's like, yeah, I don't mind Banksy, you know what I mean? And you know, do you remember my ex-girlfriend? We jumped on your panel. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it
Trilla,
comes
Trilla.
down to it, when it comes
You
down to
said I wasn't born here, and I 100% accept
you're
that.
not
But
born
you
here,
being born here it doesn't actually give you anything.
Dude,
this is the problem that you guys, especially you guys who were born in this country, who are foreigners, think you have some kind of extended right, that you have some kind of ownership because you were born here.
Right.
You don't have any more rights here than I do. That's the thing. You don't have any claim to this land any more than I do.
Again, why it seems to me like you're literally trying to kiss ass right now.
No, it's not. It's not kissing us. I'm trying to tell you, Trilla. I'm trying to tell you, if any of these white supremacist English, whatever, Welsh, Scottish asswipes finds their way walking on the beach of the Caspian Sea, I will tear them a new one. I will tear them a new one so hard you wouldn't believe, because that is my land. That is my land. I can say it with my chest.
Your land? Dude, where is your land?
My land resides in the border of what is known as Iran today. That is my forefathers' land. That is what's called blood and soil.
No.
I understand this.
Don't bullshit me. Where have you spent most of your life living?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I spend 100 years in Japan. Japan is not my land.
I'm asking you a question, all right? It's the UK, okay? Home is where you throw your hat. You ever heard the phrase? Okay. So when it comes down to it, dude, yeah?
No, these things are platitudes that they bullshitted you. They bullshitted you with this, Trilla. They lied to you, mate.
Listen, mate.
No, home isn't where you throw your hat. Your home is where you throw your turban, which is the Golden Temple in Punjab. That is your home. That is your land.
Not at all. You're trying to promote nationalism. That's what you're trying to promote.
Yes. Right? Because that is the way of things. That is the way of the world, and that is the way of the man.
No, it isn't. And when it comes down to it, dude, no. When it comes down to it, it's all about the individual minds of thinking. Okay, every individual is unique. All right, and they are subject to the land and the laws that they live in. All right, so they have to fucking abide by that and get by that. When it comes down to it, look. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that you have to do this and do how you have to do that. You ain't fucking violent. You ain't a problem. You're freaking conforming to society, no problem. All right. But you want something ethnic and you want something more. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't
no,
know what you
Triller,
want.
Triller. What I
do you
want,
want?
I'll give you. I'll tell you exactly what I want.
What do you want?
I want every person, every foreigner in this country to recognize where they are, and to give the natives their due.
Right,
To
right.
give
So-
their
so
natives
fuck
the
the natives.
the
Yeah,
respect
fuck
that
the
they
natives,
deserve,
bro.
and to appreciate
Right,
the fact that whatever shithole your ancestors crawled out of, you made it to the shores of these lands, and these people
Now
took
you're
you
talking
in.
about privilege. You're talking about privilege, right? So a person, yeah, born the same day, the
my
same
God, he is
fucking
drunk,
year as
you
me.
know. Oh,
No,
God.
hold on. The same person born, right? The same fucking year as me, right? Because they are of a different fucking ethnicity, they are more privileged than I am. You're talking
In
about
this country, yes. Yes,
talking
in this
about
country
privilege.
they are there. This is their
Incredible.
homeland, and this
Incredible.
and Triller,
is that
Triller,
not
because
racism?
Triller, listen to
How
me.
is that not racism?
Triller, whatever you want to call it,
You're
racism,
talking about
ethnicism.
superiority. That's
Listen,
racism.
Triller,
Oh my
Triller,
God.
because in the same way I afford you that right when they
You're
rock
not
up to
affording me
Punjab.
anything.
Triller,
You're calling about
Triller,
race
you have that
superiority.
right. You
No,
have that
not at
privilege
all.
in the
That does not
Punjab.
exist. That does not exist in Punjab.
That is
You're
your
making it up.
land. That
You're
is
making
your
it up.
home. That
You're
is your
making it up.
ancestral place.
You're making it up. You want that as a minority group in this country. You are literally promoting for a race superiority in this country, a privileged fucking.
That's
You know what I mean?
yeah, Triller. That's what they have. That's what they have in UAE. That's what they have in Qatar. That's what they have in
Yeah,
Kuwait.
and I
That's what
don't
they have
agree
in
with
Arab
it.
Emirates.
I don't agree with it.
Why shouldn't the English have it?
What do you mean? Why? Because what you agree
Why
with? What
shouldn't
they
the
have.
English have
Oh
what the
my God.
UAE, what the
You
Abu
fucking
Dhabi lot
smug
have?
Fucking piece of shit.
Why
You
are the
think
English
you
less
don't-
than the Abu Dhabis?
You fucking atheist, yeah, smug fucking cunt. Don't agree with what they have, and you want what
No,
they
no,
have
I
over
agree.
here.
I agree with the protectionist methods of the
No, you don't.
Emiratis.
You just-
They
you
protect
just
their
envy it.
people. I agree with the protectionist methods of the Kuwaitis. You know, my
envy
friend
what they have.
Triller, I'll give you. This is what I mean. I'm trying to give you at least a little insight into how the rest of the world works.
I know how the rest
my
of the
friend,
world
my
works, and I
let
don't
me,
agree with
okay, my friend, he's in Kuwait. His father worked for a company for 50, I think 45, 50 years in Kuwait for some oil company. He never got a Kuwaiti citizenship. He's passed away, and my friend is over there right now, having to look after his mother because his mother is, not she's ill and she doesn't want to leave Kuwait, and he wants to bring her over here, but she won't leave. So he has to go over there and look after her. He will never be given Kuwaiti citizenship. He has to leave every 3 months to renew his British passport, because even though he's Palestinian in origin, he managed to get a British passport in this country, but he will never be given Kuwaiti citizenship. His mother will never be given Kuwaiti citizenship. And in fact, her right to live in Kuwait is now in jeopardy because her right to live in Kuwait was connected to his dad working for this company. That was the only way that they could live in Kuwait. And now they're going to court and try to organize some kind of visa situation where she can remain in Kuwait given her age and everything else. But the Kuwaitis will never, 50 years this man worked in that country, he will never be Kuwaiti.
About a backward society, right? That again,
I'm
right,
trying to
it's a
tell
Muslim
you,
country,
I'm trying to tell
right,
you
that's
is that why is it if the
modern day.
Kuwaitis can have this, the English cannot?
Right. So England are well advanced, right, in terms of like the Muslim United Arab Emirate nations, right? So you're trying to make a comparison between a backward trying to catch up society, right, on a fast track, yeah, by the way, like with England and Europe and everything else. The backward nations are literally reforming to, again, regressing to freaking, you know what I mean, ethnicity, right? Like, and, you know what I mean, like certain backgrounds and beliefs and so on. Like, oh, you're Christian, you can come in as an asylum seeker. You're a Muslim, you can't. So on and so forth. This is absolute bullshit. End of the day, dude, yeah, I'm okay with what Britain is doing, apart from the fact that that loophole of just that immigrants start exploiting, by the way, asylum seekers are exploiting, they're just
Hmm.
letting them flood the society. Yeah. You know what I mean? Generally speaking, people want to come in, that's fine. Yeah. But I think the asylum, fucking whatever the, checklist they got to do, the questions and everything else. Yeah. I don't think they're stringent enough. I don't think it's, and I don't think our country is doing enough to stop it from happening, from flooding our society with more people, because again, we can only take so many people. And more importantly, what I'm more pissed off at is the way that they're being given better privileges than people in this country that have been here for their entire lives. I am more pissed off about that than anything else.
Well, I mean,
The fact
yeah.
that they're being given 3 to 5 meals a day, hotels and so on and so forth. Where are the hotels for the veterans? Where are the hotels for the women that have suffered domestic abuse? And where are, that have children, especially?
Look,
where are the fucking
Triller,
help?
Triller. These are all, for me anyway. These are byproducts of the fundamental right of the English, the Scots, and the Welsh to say no to the foreigner. To say no, you don't have a stake in this country. You don't have a stake in this land. You can stay here as guests with us, but you do not belong to this land. This is actually a line that I've quoted from Superman a long time ago. The first Superman, where Jor-El sent his son to Earth, he left him a message. He says, "You may look like one of them, but you will never be one of them. You are not of them." That's how it is for you and I in this country. We may act like them, like you say, you're culturally British. We may hang with them and we may dwell amongst them, but we are not of them. We are just friends of them. And that's fine. You can be friends. I don't claim any rights to this country. That's the difference between you and me. I know where my country is. I know where my blood and soil is. I know where my ancestors belong. Maybe you don't. Maybe you are a person of lost heritage. Maybe you don't know where you belong in the Punjab or in Khalistan or anything like that. But I do.
No.
Well, then, if you do, then you know that this isn't where you can claim your stake.
You really don't, right? So when it comes down to it, dude, there was literally, the diary of the CEO. He had a very interesting conversation recently with somebody who talked about how, again, this massive distraction and how, again, look, dude, you're a Trekkie. Yeah, this is why it surprises me that you're fucking even there. You fucking let... You are.
I recognize Star Trek as the fantasy that it is.
No, dude, you're a fucking.
I don't
letdown.
see it as it's a fantasy.
You are a fucking letdown. When it comes down to it, dude, yeah, don't fucking do that, yeah. Yeah, you are selling out. You are literally looking for some sort of fucking notoriety and fame through some sort of fucking little gap in this fucking situation that we have here, right?
It's nothing to do with notoriety and fame.
No, honestly, I think it's an ego thing with you. Personally, because...
What is egotistical about saying that this is not my land? How much of a less ego do I have to... You're the egotistical who thinks you have some claim here.
I'll tell you why. This is nobody's land. Whose land was it before the fucking... Saxons, the French, and the fucking Celts, and the fucking
Triller, I don't care. I know it wasn't my land. It wasn't my people's place. So, whatever it was, whoever it was, it wasn't my people.
So whoever conquered this place, whether it be the Romans, right?
And it's theirs.
Right?
It's theirs. It's not yours and I. So, you belong in the Punjab, and I belong in Tehran.
Hold on. So you are in favor of the conquerors, right? Whoever conquers, right, is in ownership, yeah? You're okay with that, yeah? You're okay with the conquerors, all right?
Look,
when it comes down to it, no, hold on. When it comes down to it, dude, yeah, all right? So you're basically saying you don't want other people to conquer this land, right? You don't want other people that, let's just say the Muslims or whoever else conquers this land, you don't want that to happen, right? You're happy the way it is at the moment. The majority of people being the way they are, whatever demographic they are, so on and so forth, right? But by your fucking understanding of history, right, the conquerors, right, basically have claim. So if they are conquered in today's society, right? They have claim. So what's your argument?
Sorry, I'm reading Craig. It says, you're both English as you lived here your entire lives. No, this is the delusion. You guys are deluding yourself into an aspect of reality that doesn't exist. Look, I'm going to level with you. I think the white Americans, I've tried to somehow, correlate this. The white Americans, the white Australians, they know they're on shaky ground. Because when it really comes down to it, they know that isn't their land. They took it, and somewhere down the line, 1,000 years from now, a dude with a feather in his hat is gonna put a boot in their ass. They know instinctively, whether they like to admit it or not. I know a lot of Americans, I'm American, but they know instinctively they took it, and they can stay there as long as they can hold it. But it wasn't theirs. That's why it comes up time and time again. It always comes up. It's never completely gone away. Indigenous people's land, indigenous this, indigenous that.
To make the argument for the man with that freaking feather in his hat.
No. It's the left are just virtue signaling self-righteous pricks.
No, but it literally gives them claim. They're the ones that are giving people claim.
No, but what I'm trying to tell you.
But your whole premise is about
the left claiming the virtues or trying to be virtuous about the Aboriginals of those lands are just them virtue
who
signaling.
has ownership?
Because
who has claim?
No, but dude, I can promise you, the leftist of leftists, the most woke dog shit on the American soil, white Karen of Karens, would fight kicking and screaming and scratch out every indigenous Indian's eyes out if they kick him, if they try to deport her back to Europe. I can promise you that the lefties of lefties will scream, kick and bite if the Aboriginals or the Native Americans decide to kick them out or try to somehow kick them out. They won't leave.
So if I have a family and I have offspring, right, and it goes on for 1,000 years in this country, right, would they be considered as English?
Well, this is the thing. It is true that time, does change things, and if you're talking about 1,000-year period, if you're talking about 10,000-year period,
not
then
10,000.
Well, okay,
we don't
even
know
2,000-3,000. Okay, let's say
no,
2,000-3,000.
not even 2,000-3,000. Like
Even 1,000 years,
right?
if this country suddenly becomes 90% Indian and it stays that way for 1,000 years.
No, I didn't say Indian. I said my offspring, right, are here.
Okay,
for 1,000
Punjabi.
years.
Becomes Sikh Punjabi.
My offspring.
Oh, your offsprings, your children's children for 1,000 years.
My children, are they English?
No.
And 1,000 years from now.
Any more than you would be Japanese in 1,000 years
so
from now.
1,000 years ago, right, when the offspring here, right, who are considered to be English now, are they not considered English?
Well, the fact is that the people who came, the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings, they are, but you got to realize they are of the same people. So they are of you are so far removed from the people of this region. No, because you got to realize the people of this region, if you're talking about the mix between the Dutch and the German and the French and the English, there will be a lot of intermixing, but these are of the people of this region.
They need to be white.
They need to be people of this region.
They need to be white.
Which are white. The people of this region are white. So they would, but it's in the same way. In the same way, do you consider Elon Musk an African?
Do I consider him to be African?
Elon Musk an African?
Yes, because we're all from African descent.
No. Do you consider him a modern African? You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck around.
No, I don't know what you're saying because again, 1,000 years from now, my offspring.
1,000 years from now, will Elon Musk be an African if his descendants lived in Africa? By the way, the Boers in South Africa, they've lived there 300-400 years. How many years is it, Ollie? Do you know?
It's about 300 years.
300 years. The Africans still to this day see them as foreigners. They've been there 400 years. 300 years, sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Do they consider them Africans? Do you think the Zulu? Do you think the Zulu considers a Boer an African.
So you know the Romans, when they came to Britain and they invaded Britain, right? They had Carthaginian blood in them, right? Carthaginian, right, were African, okay? Black African, okay? And they came here with black genes, okay? So
and they intermixed. But I'm asking you a direct question.
and they intermixed.
Are
okay.
the Boers
So you got
of
black
South
people
Africa
in England
Listen.
from 2,000 years ago?
Triller.
Okay, so are they considered as English?
Well, the fact is that if their genes have been intermixing with the natives of the variety of the European countries, their gene pool would have been
so you
completely
got black
mixed in.
DNA, African DNA.
Yeah, there's African DNA in almost everybody.
2,000 years ago.
No, dude, there's African DNA in almost everyone. If the
I'm
out of
just-
African theory is
Yeah,
even
but I'm talking
correct,
about
everybody's got
I'm talking
African
about more
DNA.
recent. I'm talking about more recent. So when it comes down to it, what is being English?
Well,
like
I'm
people-
giving you
I said 1,000 years because people
Listen.
were giving me the premise of hundreds of years, right?
Triller.
I gave you 1,000 years as a leeway.
Triller, I'm giving
and
you
you're still
300
denying
years.
And you're still
You
denying
haven't
that.
been in this country for more than 1 or 2 generations, and you're claiming Englishness.
I'm claiming English straight away, 100%.
Dude,
yeah.
dude,
I'm born
the
here.
Boers, the white Africans, South Africans have been there for 300 years.
Yeah, but
Are
I'm
they
born here.
African?
Dude, it's a nationality.
Are they African?
It's a nationality.
No, African isn't a nationality.
No. England,
African
English is a nationality.
but you're not an English
But it is.
person. No,
It's a
you're British.
nationality.
No, it's also an ethnicity.
It's an
not. ethnicity.
No,
it's
no,
like
no.
being
That's what
Jewish.
you're arguing.
It's
No,
like being
not.
Jewish.
It's not an ethnicity.
Yes.
If it was an ethnicity, it would be the most diverse ethnicity ever.
The fact is, it is. It's an ethnicity,
Yeah, the most
just like being
diverse.
Jewish.
Yeah,
Jewish.
okay.
Do you consider being Jewish just a
Right.
just a religion?
So it's an ethnicity between white people. That's what you're trying to argue between, right?
Yeah, but in England, ethnically speaking, it was completely homogeneous until maybe the 1940s. You're looking at like
What's that mean? Homogeneous? What's that mean?
Together. So it would have been
Well-
99.9% white up until
White. So
70 years
together.
ago, white.
So
yeah.
white means together. Is that what it means?
No, homogeneous means together.
All right, but
There-
white
it was
means together.
it was a homogeneous
you're saying
white
it was
society.
Right. So you're saying white means together.
No, I'm saying that the UK was vast majority white 80 years ago, in the same way that other nations were ethnically 99.9%. It doesn't happen. It just happens to be that Britain was white because we're Northern European.
So again, what era are we talking about?
Look,
Let's break
Triller,
it down.
Triller,
No, hold
don't
on,
walk
hold on,
away
hold
from
on,
this.
hold on.
Don't
Let
walk
me-
away
let me-
from this.
no, hold on. Ollie
Are
hasn't spoken, bro. Let
are
me- let me
white
fucking
South
talk to him,
Africans
bro.
African?
Let me talk to Ollie, bro. Freaking hell. I'm asking Ollie, bro, yeah? When are you talking about? What period are you talking about it being together?
Or
Yeah.
white, mostly
Yeah.
white.
Yeah. When are we talking
well,
about? What period?
Pre 1940.
1940, it was all white. Okay, so literally from BC, all right, to freaking today, all right, you've had a mixture in Britain.
No, the vast majority of people in Britain during that time were ethnically Northern European.
Northern European. Okay.
Yeah, white. Yeah.
Vast majority. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Even from BC, you've had people from outside integrated into your society, right?
Yeah, in tiny numbers. Yeah.
In tiny numbers, but it
Yeah,
still
yeah,
counts.
very small
It still
numbers.
counts. It still counts, right?
Yeah, but when we're talking about vast majorities, you
Right.
can basically say for all intents and purposes, it was completely ethnically the same.
Yeah.
Right.
In the same way that Japan was,
Right.
500 years ago. They were
Okay, so
entirely
are we to treat the minority people differently from the majority?
No, I don't think so. Like I said before, I don't think race has any bearing on someone's cultural standing as whether they're English or not. If in my opinion, if you have participated in English culture, which like is those 7 things that I mentioned before, and you have integrated, say, into that culture, you've assimilated that into your behavior and your psyche, you're English, as far as I can say. And I'm not bothered about what color your skin is. It doesn't concern me at all. It doesn't really bother me what your heritage is.
What makes you
But
English?
If you were born here, so let's take an example as a hypothetical. If you are born here into what is essentially a ghetto, say a Muslim ghetto that I've lived next to for many, many years in my life, and many other people have done. They don't leave that ghetto. English is literally their second language, despite the fact they may be second or third generation here. They hold a religion of a foreign land, and they hold an allegiance to that religion, and also consider themselves nationally their identity to not be British.
Is Christianity an English religion?
Historically, it's not. Well, historically, the British, the English have been Christians for a
Yeah,
great
but
number
are
of
they?
years.
Is it an English religion? It's not, right?
No, it's not an English religion.
Yeah,
No.
thank you. So you basically debunked your argument
Why?
because you're talking about a foreign religion like
Mm-hmm.
Islam, right, in comparison to Christianity, and both are foreign.
Yeah, but I've made the distinction between Islam being a different kind of religion, in so much as it is
Different kind of
also-
religion, as in not embraced by the English culture.
No, that it's a supremacist religion that also has political motives,
And Christianity hasn't been a supremacist religion.
not in modern times. No,
Not in modern times. Since
No.
when?
Gosh, I'd probably say since the Enlightenment, so maybe the 1900s, maybe
1900s.
1850s,
Okay,
something like that.
so for nearly 2,000 years, all right, it's been a supremacist religion.
Mm-hmm.
Not even that, because even the early churches were not part of the. I mean, it only became supreme or kind of imperialistic from Constantine when they adopted it as the Roman religion.
Executing scientists and free thinkers,
Yeah, but they were executing Christians. The Romans were executing Christians right before that.
Yeah, Joan of Arc, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
So yeah, so back to the hypothetical. If you are born in this country and you don't share any of the cultural values whatsoever, are you British simply by the fact that you were born here?
Well, see, I think ethnicity and religion has nothing to do with it. Would you agree?
I think religion has something to do with it. It can do. I don't think ethnicity does.
Okay, so I thought we debunked it, but what do you think? Why do you think religion has something to do with it? Why?
Because religion forms a large part of culture and values. So if you hold to religion that shares no values with the vast majority of the people who are living around you, I'd say that you are living in conflict with that society and that culture.
Okay. So what religion are the English folk supposed to be following? What part of Christianity? Because again, we got our own church in England.
Yeah. In Britain, since the Enlightenment, we've had religious plurality. We've had an acceptance of not wanting to actually get into those arguments, in particular, not in a big way. We haven't really murdered each other over that.
Have we not?
Not really. No, not really. Not like. Catholics haven't really been murdering Protestants.
Bloody hell, mate! I mean, how many people have been murdered under Christianity? Really?
Well, not in the last since the Enlightenment, like I say. So
the Enlightenment being
200 years.
The Enlightenment being what era? What year?
Well, the last sort of 250, 300 years, yeah. Christianity hasn't really done that. Like, I'm not a Christian, by the way. You know.
I appreciate that, but like, I mean, I'm just talking from a historical point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be perfectly honest. Some of the positions, and I think me and Ollie actually don't necessarily see eye to eye in all of these aspects, because I actually don't agree with this aspect of ethnicity not accounting for your background. I think your ethnicity does play a part in your Englishness, because I just don't think anyone of not Anglo-Saxon Western European ethnicity is English, can be English. They can have a British passport, they can be a paper British, but again, I honestly, I hold to this, because I used to be a super liberal. I voted Liberal Democrats back in 2000 because of the Iran-Iraq war, and they were the only party that stood up against it. Sorry, not Iran-Iraq, the Gulf War, the war, the American-Iraq war. But nevertheless, I come to realize there is something to be said about your people and your heritage and who you are and where you come from, and to have a realistic vision of that. If tomorrow a 20 million Englishmen, Scotsmen, went to Iran and set up shop in Mashhad or Esfahan, and in 100 years, they're not going to be Iranian. They're not going to be Iranian. Not a single Iranian will accept them as Iranian. There'll be English people who set up shop in Mashhad. There'll be the English people who live in Mashhad. That's what it will be. That's what it is in Saudi Arabia. That's what it is in Dubai. They're expats.
I would agree with you if they were still wearing kilts and eating haggis and celebrating,
Christmas.
Christmas, yeah, whatever. But what if there were Zoroastrians who spoke perfect Persian or Farsi and had married into the local culture in some part and had adopted the local architecture, the local art, the local music, all of that, like adopted it completely? Would you still say, oh, these people are Scots because their great grandparents were?
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with Iran. It's not an ethnically homogenous country. Hasn't been for a very long time, and it does raise those questions. I agree with you. I mean, if they integrated and intermarried for several generations, then it would be almost impossible to tell them apart.
Yeah, so what's the problem?
But if they remained, it's my point is the same as the Boers in South Africa. They will never be called Africans, even to this day. These super liberal, uber liberal asswipes, with all their virtue signaling, will never call Elon Musk an African. You think they're going to call him an African American? No. They don't see him as African American because they see him as a white man who invaded Africa.
Ollie, what's your point of view on Banksy's stance in terms of the UK? I mean, you say you live in the UK and so on and so forth. Like, so what's your stance on, you know what I mean? What's your political stance?
I don't really hold one.
You don't hold one. So, like, what do you think about Banksy's?
About Banksy's political stance? I don't really know what his political stance is. I know he's a little bit right wing in terms of his support for Tommy and reform and whatnot. I think reform.
What do you think about Tommy?
What do I think about Tommy? I think Tommy's an interesting character.
Yeah. No shit.
I think a lot of people say a lot of things about him that aren't true.
What do you think isn't true?
I think a lot of people make him out to be a racist, and I haven't actually heard him say.
I don't know about racist, but do you think he has an agenda?
Oh yeah, of course he's got an agenda.
What's the agenda? Do you think he has a hidden?
So I think he's against the Islamification of or what he sees as the Islamification of Western society.
Do you think that's a bit of a scapegoat, a bit of a ploy?
I think it could be useful to some people to use as a scapegoat. I think from his experience and from a lot of people's experience, that it is a genuine problem that may need to be addressed.
I think,
whether it's been overblown, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you know? You said you lived here your entire life, no?
Yeah, well,
I've lived your entire life.
Yeah, I've lived here. Well, yeah, apart from I lived in America for a short while, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say. I think the times are actually changing.
Why is it difficult? Are you English by heritage?
Yes.
All right. So why is it difficult for you to say?
Because I think the situation has changed so quickly recently with the absolute mass immigration. Like, we've had more immigration to this country in the last 5 years than we have in the last 2000. That's a huge demographic change that I don't think we can actually see the results of yet. We don't know what that's going to mean for this country. And I think it's scaring a lot of people.
What is it? Does it scare you?
Yeah, in some ways, yeah.
Why?
Because I'm one of those people that takes an interest in religion and takes an interest in debate. And a lot of the time,
are you religious?
To an extent, yeah, but it's not.
What religion are you leaning towards?
I practice Zen, so I'm actually ordained in Zen.
Zen, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Zen, but I know what the word means, Zen. But I don't know the religion. I didn't know there was a religion called Zen.
It's a Buddhist sect.
So you're Buddhist?
Zen Buddhism.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think Zen means, Trilla?
Peace. Like balance.
Is that true? Is that what it means?
Oh, it literally means meditation.
Okay, there you go.
It's from the Chinese word Chan,
And
Which means-
meditation is like what Sikhi promotes the most.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Towards like we would be literally wasting our lives if we didn't meditate. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Banksy and I were talking to like 8 Sikhi guys in the corner on Sunday. Having a long chat with
Yeah,
them.
I heard them telling me to come down. You know, Banksy and me, we're more controversial. We're more kind of like, you know what I mean? We're more fucking little, rebels, you know what I mean, than anything else. But, you know.
So
I'm
yeah,
more
I mean,
yeah.
like I say, I take an interest in sort of comparative religion, and I end up talking to these Islamists who are
How the
like
fuck?
Wahhabis and
Yeah,
Salafis, and they're fucking crazy. And when they start, you see a lot of people talk about, you know, Sharia for the UK and all that kind of thing,
Hmm.
and you know what.
So it's
That kind of
interesting.
means.
It's
That is
interesting.
frightening, yeah.
It's interesting. So like you saw, right? So you're Buddhist, right? You
Mhm.
saw a Tommy Robinson demonstration where they brought on a guy,
Mhm.
and again, they wouldn't have probably promoted this video that you just saw unless I put it up there, right? Recently, where this guy done it 2 months ago, tearing up flags from all nations and all religions, right? Like, and all kind of like walks of life, right? You know, like you're Buddhist, and I respect Buddhists, you know, and so does ChatGPT, by the way.
I know.
I've asked a lot of times. So like, when it comes down to it, it's like, what the hell is going on, bro? You get me? Like, dude, one of my favorite Buddhist women, you know what I mean? Like Jen Wallace, you get me? I love listening to her. Yeah, when she's talking about her thing. She was a Christian and she became a Buddhist, didn't it? Yeah, and I love that. You know what I mean? Because she's come from a very Catholicism background and gone completely dharmic. You know what I mean? So you're from the Dharma now. You're Dharma, yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So you're more like me than you are like Banksy. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
we come from a Vedic tradition, yeah.
Right. So I don't know your background. You get me? Yeah. I'm discovering right now. So you're more Dharma. I'm Dharma. Right. It's interesting. So like, where are we going, bro? You get me? Like in terms of you're an Englishman, right? Yeah, by heritage. You know what I mean? You're a very unique person, in my opinion, right? There aren't many like you. And in my opinion, you know what I mean, you're very well spoken and you're very intellectual, right? From what I've heard. But where should we go in your opinion? Like you tell me, where do you think we should go?
In what way? In what's happening in terms of like this
Like
immigration?
in terms of from 2025 to 2026 to 2030, what do you think we should go as a country, as a nation, as a world? Like what direction should we strive towards?
I think you should deal with the situation as it arises. I don't think you can make long-term aims like where we're going to be.
I think we should have long-term aims, but go on.
I mean, I'm just glad I'm not in charge.
I'm sure you're not. But like, if you were,
if
literally,
you gave me the the crown tomorrow or the
yeah.
presidency tomorrow, I'd give it away to someone else. I wouldn't want it.
Yeah, all right, cool. Don't be a
See,
coward.
that's exactly why you
Don't
should
be
have
a
it,
fuck.
Ollie.
No.
That is
Don't
exact.
be.
No,
Don't
because
be
there
a
is a
fucking pussy.
no.
No.
Trilla. There is a saying.
Hypotheticals, bro.
There was a saying by a president, by a former American president. He says,
God.
"The person who should be the president isn't the one who's asking for it.
Yeah,
he should be dragged into office, kicking and screaming."
Why? That's why I'm asking.
I'd make you king, Ollie.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking for your dude. You're on a fucking YouTube panel, right? You're not gonna
exactly.
be
Why
the
are you
king.
asking me?
You're not.
On
You're
a
not
YouTube
gonna,
panel with HAFEZ, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Don't fucking
Do you
cower
think
away.
I've got anything important to say?
Don't cower away now, bro. Be hypothetical, bro.
I don't know,
All
man.
right.
I don't know.
No, I know you don't know. But dude, top of your head, first answer, what would you say? That's what I would fucking go with. Go on. What would you say?
I don't know. It's just
be honest.
Just a fucking mess. The whole thing.
Yeah, I know it's a fucking mess. But top of your answer, yeah, top of your head, what would you say? First answer in your mind. That's the honest one.
I don't. We could make camps where we concentrate people to these camps. We could call them like concentration camps.
Yeah, that's your honest answer. Yeah, idiot.
I don't know, Triller. Why are you asking me
Bro,
for?
honestly,
I don't
bro,
know.
honestly,
What would you do? What would you do?
What in
Give
this
me an
situation?
example, and I'll tell you if I think it's a good idea.
Oh my god, I fucking hell, looking for a way out. What would I do in this situation? All right, firstly, I would literally have to get the military involved and stop all boats coming into this country, right?
Mhm.
And I would make it a what do they call it, Banksy? When it's like when your country's in a fucking worse position, what they've done in South
Martial
America.
law? Yeah,
Martial law, right?
martial law,
Not all,
Insurrection Act.
no. There's another word for it. There's another one.
Insurrection.
No. It's like where your country, not martial law, not fucking. Like it's when your country, like what? Who's that guy in America, in South America, that imprisoned fucking all these bold guys in fucking South America? Do you remember? Like when your country's in a state of fucking something.
A state of war,
Not a state of war.
uprising, revolution.
Anyway, you get the point. Your country's
Not
fucked.
really.
Yeah, your country's fucked. And you need to fucking call for a situation. You're like, yo, yeah, we need to do something about this, yeah? And yeah, basically do that. And you know what I mean? Like, end of the day, stop all boats coming in, military gets involved, have to make a massive situation out of it. And yeah, I would have done that from time. I'm sure it's called something, state of something. What the fuck,
Emergency.
man? State of emergency. Well done. Banksy, you dumb bastard. You're not as clever as I thought you were.
That's why I've got Ollie here. What do you think?
Fucking hell. State of emergency. There you go. Anyway, so I'll do that. And first thing first, yeah, fucking stop people coming in completely, right? State of emergency. We got a problem. And then, sort it out inside and out. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I do.
So is that inside and out? That's you know what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when people show Leonardo da Vinci's drawings of a plane or that flying machine, and then they go, "Oh, Leonardo da Vinci invented the plane."
State of emergency. You wouldn't call a state of emergency. In this situation.
Dude, you gave me the Leonardo da Vinci picture of what you would do without actually even. You know how many different mechanisms and things that would be involved in all of the shit you just said.
You didn't even know what it was called, you dickhead. All right.
No, that's
all
fine.
Right.
That's why, because I said martial law, and martial law usually comes from a state of
I know it's close, but it's close, yeah.
But nevertheless, I figured, yeah, you would have some kind of like dictatorial lockdown, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong. What I would do if I was king for a few months, I would open my book called My Struggle. It's got another name in German, and I'll follow step 1. Of course, in Islam, I believe they call it jihad.
Oh, do they?
My Struggle.
Was it the guy's name who attacked the Jewish place? Get me,
yeah, Mr. Jihad. Yeah. But I have a book which is written My Struggle in German on it. And I would open that book and see what step 1 says.
Who else is German? Isn't the royal family German by heritage?
Yeah, technically the Windsors.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Okay.
I think some Greek as well, although people said Philip wasn't actually Greek, he just lived in
World War I. He was a Greek prince. He was Greek.
Yeah,
he was Greek,
World
right?
World War I wasn't between a bunch of cousins, United Kingdom, Germany, and Russia. They were all first cousins.
Well, family feuds. You've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Cousins. The thing is, yes, the greatest wars ever fought in the world, if we're talking like World War I, World War II, are amongst white people.
First cousins.
The white man is not the most peaceful man. Sure, I accept that. But the white man has learned to do better. See, my problem is...
They learned from the World War I, yeah? Okay.
No. They didn't learn from World War I because they had World War II. They learned better from World War II. But my thing is, you see, this has always been my impression. You can go and rape and pillage and make your country prosperous. The madness of the white man in the modern West is this, which I can't get my head around.
What?
Back in the day, when an invading army would take a castle, they would literally kill the women and children of the king, because they don't want anyone to come back to claim their inheritance. So they don't want that child to grow up, raise an army against them. So they would it's total war. They would completely decimate the other side to the point of never return.
I'm a big fan of Total War.
The problem I have with the Western man of today is that you guys were great. You went, you did your shit, you did the pillaging part really well, and you brought back a ton of treasure that your country's literally thrived on for centuries.
You wouldn't be
But
where you
at
are
somewhere
without
along the way, you became crazy, and you allowed the very people you fucked over to come and live with you.
See,
and live off the treasure.
You're not completely delusional, right?
No. Let me finish this. I'll thought this through.
But you don't actually think that we had a discussion recently that with the whole V for Vendetta thing, right? Like, it's not completely delusional, right? In terms of like segregating communities and causing more division through immigration and so on and so forth, right? That this is all pre-planned and orchestrated. These governments don't do shit accidentally. They do it deliberately.
Well, maybe someone. I actually think there is a concerted effort to destroy Western civilization or Western European civilization. I think there's some vindictive bastard who is systematically trying to actually destroy these societies because they just have maybe a historical gripe. Maybe it's the Arabs, maybe it's the tribal people. I don't know, because I mean, let's be honest, the people of the tribe are not entirely happy with the West, although they've integrated. And I'll be honest, I've got so many people of the tribe that I go to protest with that are lovely, lovely people that you would never know that they were anything but English. But maybe there's some elements of somebody, the Arabs, the other people, whoever you fucked over the years, that is now trying to take revenge. And the problem is, it's not that it's being done from outside to you. It is being done by the people inside with your own hands. This is self-flagellation or suicide, which astounds me.
Sorry, what's happened to be fucking self-destructive? What's happened?
Okay, let me explain. The fact is that countries went out, Britain, Empire, United States, economic hitman, this, that, all of that shit was to enrich the West.
Calling for help.
Hold on. Let me get this out.
From Commonwealth countries.
Yeah. Give me 60 seconds. I'll land this. Give me 60 seconds. I'll land this.
Go on.
The fact is, they went out. They got treasure. They enriched their countries. They were successful, and they made great societies because money allows you to grow. Look at Dubai. Look at Saudi Arabia. So anyway, they did this. And then somewhere along the way, they went mad and they became altruistic. And they started allowing all these people in, all these people who previously fucked over. And they wonder now why those people of those nations are pissed at them and are systematically trying to use their freedoms and their laws and their democracy to destroy them. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? You don't let the enemy through the gates to live with you and sleep in your bedroom.
There's two ways of looking at it. If it's pre-orchestrated, right? Again, like there's a premise, right? There is a fucking an outcome, right? Like, so let's just say it's pre-orchestrated, right? They wanted it to happen. They knew it was going to be troublesome. What's going to be the outcome? You tell me.
What's going to be the outcome? It's going to be one of. I mean, I see it in a couple of situations. Number one, they will either sleepwalk their way into some kind of Islamic caliphate, or they will have a bit of a dust up.
Why would
There'll be some kind of civil war.
Why would they do it though? How are they going to benefit? How is the West?
They're not going to benefit.
Oh my God.
It is their insanity. That's what I'm saying. It is an insane suicide pact.
They're not fucking stupid, dude. Again, you're literally
okay. Triller. You tell me. Triller. You tell me.
Society in the world.
you tell me, how will the British government, given the state of affairs and the state of anti-Islamophobia, racism, all these things that they have in place, how will they stop Muslims from not building mosques?
Again, so you're asking the wrong question, all right? Well, that question was the wrong question, right?
Was it?
The question, yeah, it was.
Okay.
The question is, right? What the fuck? Why are they bringing in so many people, right? And how are they going to benefit from it?
Exactly.
All right.
How are they going to stop that? Why are they not able to stop it?
So generally speaking, I think, yeah, again, and we talked about this recently, and we talked about how they are going to incite the majority of the population, right, in this country and other countries in Europe, yeah, to vote for their demise in terms of, taking away their human rights to try to deter foreign entities from coming into this country.
No, but whose human rights are they going to take away? They're going to take our rights.
Hold on. And that is going to encourage a more socialist society, more than you're actually trying to fight against right now. With you're calling Labour socialist, right? The Margaret Thatcher speech that you played at the beginning of your show, right? And talking about socialists with Labour. But generally speaking, the corporations is what Margaret Thatcher is what she employed, or their government employed. I don't blame her personally. I blame the government, right? Because she's one woman in a fully male-dominated environment, right? So in general, right?
Well, she ushered in the selling of the nationalized.
Yeah. But she was a puppet
industries.
In that whole. She was a puppet in that whole. You know what I mean? Debacle, right? But generally speaking, it's like end of the day, it's corporations taking over, right? And it's low-paid workers that they want in this country, a tax haven under Nigel Farage, and so on and so forth. So all I'm saying is, dude, yeah, this country is going to shit. We don't have many options in terms of we're just voting for the best of the worst out of our elections. That's it. The Conservatives have failed us. The Labour government clearly right now are looking like they're failing us, right? And everybody else under them are going to fail us even worse. We are fucked.
Okay. No, you nobody has any qualms about how fucked we are. I'm more interested in how would you, from your perspective of worldview, how would you turn the ship around? What would you do?
Dude, I would do a lot of things, right?
Right.
I'll do a lot of things.
Give me one.
Give you one thing. Fucking hell. Dude, honestly, when it comes down to politics, dude, again, I got involved and I got out of it a long time ago. But if I was to get involved, right, I would do my best to fucking, try to, create an equilibrium, under the conditions that we have in this country, and try to cater for every fucking sect in this society, to make it work. You got to have some sort of balance, right? When it comes down to immigration, for example, right? Cease and desist, right? I would call for a national emergency, right? And definitely fucking put everything on hold. I would definitely do that, And when it comes down to everything else in this country, I would take it to an extreme level, and get police on the roads, and literally have police actually on the roads and not become a response unit. That would be some sort of security in this country, as opposed to what we have today. I mean, fucking hell, majority of the cop cars that you see today in London, for example, and across the country are fucking undercover police cars with lights on. They're not actual cars with fucking, actual police cars. It's ridiculous. Banksy, have you driven? Have you drove around recently? Have you seen how many cop cars are undercover? It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. It's true. You're right. There's a lot more than.
It's mental.
No, so at least I've noticed a lot more with their
the
flashing
police
lights,
have become a response unit they're not a deterrent.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. They're no longer.
So
Yeah,
I
they're just
want a
reactive.
bigger deterrent. You got fucking drugs in your area. You got shit happening in your area, right? I want you fucking there to deter people from doing it, right?
Let me just read Urban Roots. It says, "Damn, I never noticed the translation for the little German man's book and jihad mean the same thing." I'm glad this is a teaching moment for everyone.
But you know what, Banksy? I'm gonna do my own thing, innit? Yeah. So
No worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, it's 12.
bro,
To be honest, I have to sleep. I
no,
should have
but
slept like an
bro,
hour ago.
Banksy, big up, bro. Ollie, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, man. Peace and big up, bro. Yeah. When it come down to it, I hope to see more of you. I'm gonna get in touch with Banksy to talk to you again. All right.
Yeah. Ping me,
Come
dude.
on,
I'm on
all right.
X. I'm on Insta. HAFEZ in London. Just ping me and I'll ping Ollie.
I've got a few Buddhist women that might be interested in you, Ollie. All right. Peace.
I'll let my wife know.
Ollie is he's married.
Full conversation, Ollie. All right.
I know Triller, this is the first time you met Ollie, but Ollie is
I really like him, bro.
So much deeper than you think. He's a very
dude,
quiet man.
You said you were deeper than me, and you're a fucking sellout. All right, so whatever. All right, Ollie,
No,
I was convinced you were some sort of fucking far right guy with a fucking blanket on. All right.
Yeah, no, Ollie is he's far deeper than you can possibly
I was like,
imagine.
who the fuck is this guy? Dude, honestly, let me just sing your praises for a second. You have been very calm, very fucking passive, and very fucking precise at the same time. Big up, Ollie. All right, I'll catch you later, bro. Peace.
Take care, Triller. Thanks for coming, mate. Thanks for coming. Ollie, my man, final words.
Ciao, Bella.
That's it. Ciao, Bella. I would
Send
draw
them back. Send them
back. There you go. Where's that Union? Yeah, the England flag behind there somewhere. I love it. All right, mate. Thank you so much. Have a great night and give my best to the family. Take care.
Mate. Speak to you soon.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. That is our night. That is our show. That is everything. Thank you for everyone for coming. You guys have all been awesome in the chat. I've been watching the chat go by. I'm sorry if I haven't posted your message or didn't call you out at some point. But as always, big shout out to everyone. Roy, John. First of all, let me give shout out to the panelists, Triller, Ollie, and Jupiter. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh, James, big up James as well for coming on the panel earlier on. So thank you so much for the panelists and everyone in the chat. Miss J, obviously Lieutenant, my darling Lieutenant, Roy, John, Emmanuel Goldstein, who has some great things to say. Den, Tarragon, Francis Bowl. Oh my God, Francis, so good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're keeping well. I hope your health is on the mend. I know I noticed the message you saying you were in and out of hospitals, but I didn't see the rest. Stochastic Buddha, big up to you, sir. Jojo, big up to you. I said, Lieutenant, Wake Up UK in the house. Some heavy hitters came in here. Wake Up UK, by the way, guys, has over, I think, 140,000 subscribers now. Actually, no, not Wake Up UK. Sorry, it was Working Class Patriot. But Wake Up UK is pretty big as well. I'm sure I've seen his YouTube channel is soared. Emmanuel, again. Who else am I? Did I miss anyone? I don't know. If I missed your name, I apologize. Lynn, love you, Lynn. I don't see. Let me see. I think I'm Pauline Smith. Love you. Big up to yourself. Blessings and salutations to you all. I don't know if I missed anyone else. I don't know. This is Victoria West, Craig. Blessings to both of you, my darlings. And I am gonna, I can't, I see it's repeating names now. I'm sorry. If I missed your name, my screen has now lost, it doesn't go back any further. Oh, Wee Man in the chat earlier on at the beginning. Love Wee Man. I think I gave him salutations anyway already earlier on. So yeah, love you guys. John, Roy, catch you guys in the streets at the weekend. Hopefully there'll be some craziness. There was some craziness apparently at the Barbican, at the Britannia in Canary Wharf. Should have, if I knew, I would have gone down. I don't know. It's tough going after work. Anyway, thank you everyone. You've all been good. Blessings to you all. And have yourselves a wonderful evening, a wonderful Thursday. If I don't talk to you, I'll keep an eye out for me on the weekend. I'll be out in the streets somewhere doing something, even though I've actually got a PC to build once all the parts arrive this weekend. So my weekend may actually be taken up with putting motherboards together. We'll see. We'll see. Love you guys. Peace.
We're HAFEZ, your weatherman. And have we got news for you? Let's get ready, all you lonely girls, and leave those umbrellas at home. Humidity's rising. Barometer's getting low. According to all sources. What sources now? The street's the place to go. Better hurry up.